What's going on? What's going on? How's everybody doing? Audrey, welcome in. Audrey is first in. Oh, wait, sorry. 50 King is first in. Give me 1 second, guys. We'll get rocking and rolling here in a minute. I hope everybody's doing well. Audrey, welcome in. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being here. Adav1D, welcome in. MS, welcome in. Jody Coat, welcome in. Cubic, welcome in. I'm glad you guys are here. Thanks for being here. Hope everybody's having a good night tonight. Just give me one sec. We're going to get set up. I'm setting up YouTube and TikTok right now. So just give me a second. You know what? Actually, we're going to do something else. I'm going to make sure you guys can hear me. Just give me a sec. All right. We are gonna start rocking here in a minute. Thank you for your patience, you guys. Lee and Lisa, welcome in. Forhey, welcome in. Today we're gonna be learning about deregulation and Jimmy Hoffa and all kinds of other stuff. Can you guys hear me okay with this? Can you hear? I don't think I need this tonight. Can you guys hear me okay? Thank you for liking the live, you guys. I appreciate it. Please share this live. Let's get it out there. Just so everybody knows, we are also on X and YouTube tonight. I have to get one thing set up. Let me get the internet set up for our giggle so that I can read to you guys, and then we'll start rocking and rolling, okay? Oh, this is set up. What am I thinking? All right. I just had a really good breakfast for dinner, so excuse me. I'm kind of, what do they call it? When you have like a food coma. That's what it is, food coma. All right, how's everybody doing tonight? Can you guys hear me okay with this thing? Can you hear me okay? I hope. I'm in a restaurant right now, so I have to use this. I'm in the very back where I'm not bothering people, but yeah. Thank you everybody for being here. I'm glad you're here. Today we are gonna learn about deregulation and Jimmy Hoffa himself. That is what we're doing tonight. I hope you guys can stay. We're gonna have a few people in here that knows a lot more than I do, so we're gonna get a pretty good discussion hopefully here going soon. Hello on YouTube, welcome in. Thank you, I'm glad you're here. X, hello, I see you. Let's get that chat started. Thank you for being here. There you go. Let's see, WB, thanks for liking is that Coffee with Bob? I think it is. Yeah. What's up, man? Thanks for being here. Hey, Coffee with Bob, would you like to talk about deregulation? That's what we're here talking about tonight. You would be one of the perfect people to talk about this if you want. Lee and Lisa, you as well. Audrey would be another good person. Let's get some more people in here first, and we'll start rocking and rolling. Let's see. Bob says, I really enjoy your live with Ghost the other day. Right on. Awesome, man. I'm glad you liked it. That's what we're trying to do. Oh, that's not Coffee with Bob. WB. Okay. Sorry, my bad. Jakide. I'm glad you liked it, brother. Thank you. That's really good to hear. You know, on my YouTube, I had a guy from France message me this morning and said he really enjoyed the videos, the driving videos that I'm making on YouTube. So I'm really happy. That's kind of why I did it. You know, just people outside of the country, if they want to enjoy American truck driver driving around the country, seeing like, you know, Cabbage Patch, 4th of July, Donner Summit, Vail, you know, through Colorado, just different areas, you know, going over like the George Washington Bridge in New York, right? Some people will never get to experience that. So that's why I did it. That's why I'm doing them for other people. You know, people that are retired might just want to stare at a TV. I mean, for you and I, it sounds crazy, right? But you'd be surprised what other people like. So that's what I'm trying to do, just give back. Sorry about that. I had a phone call. I'm just trying to get back, you know. And hey, if we can get popular on YouTube as well and get all 2 million truck drivers, that's what it's going to take. That's why we are on TikTok, YouTube, X, Facebook, and what do you call it? And Instagram. Hang on one sec, guys. I'm not going anywhere. Just give me one sec. I apologize. Okay, fine. Okay, I'm back. My apologies. Thank you, everybody, for tapping that screen. I really appreciate it. Beck Zod, welcome in. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. CJ Goods is in the house. Thank you for joining, man. Thank you for joining. Glad you're here. Fred is here. Thanks for joining, Fred. David, I don't know if you're here, but I can't open up stuff. Dude, I can't open up stuff while I'm on the live because it's disrespectful and it's pausing the live to everybody else. I don't want to do that. So if you could just read it from your end, that'd be great. Big D, welcome in. Let's see, who else do we have? DIOS, welcome in. Moustafob, welcome in. We're gonna get started in just 1 second, you guys, okay? We're gonna wait for a few more people to come in and then we're gonna start rocking and rolling. Alrighty. If you can, please share the live. Let's get it out there in TikTok land. Let's get some more people in here. All right, let's see. Everybody must be going over to YouTube. Hello, welcome in, welcome in. Ken, welcome in. I'm glad you're here. All right, let's see. Road to Better is in the house. Welcome in. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for coming. Let's see. MCI has joined. Amadip Singh has joined. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. Welcome. Let's see. Kojo14 is here. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Paulaire865. Thank you. Thank you. Jimmy's in. Hey, Jimmy, we're talking about Jimmy Hoffa tonight, brother. Let's see. New Rise, welcome in. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for joining. YouTube 3, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Hello over on X. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Just so you know, on X, we are on TikTok and we're on YouTube also. Thank you for the gifter badge. Appreciate that. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Mukor, welcome in. All right, guys, we're going to get started in just 1 second. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. I will answer them for you. Tonight, we're talking about deregulation in the trucking industry back in the 80s, and we were talking about Jimmy Hoffa. That is what tonight's discussion is about. Can everybody hear me okay? I just want to make sure. Maybe nobody can hear me. Can somebody drop it in the chat, yes or no, if you can hear me or not, please? Let's see. Keith is here. Yes. Okay. YouTube 3 says yes. All right. Cool. Thank you. Does anybody have any trucking questions? We're going to get a few more people in here, and then we're going to get started. Until then, okay. Audrey says she can hear me. Good. Good. Does anybody have any commercial truck driving questions that I can answer for you? Let's see. Retired bum is up. Come on, man. Now, retired bum. You're not a bum if you retired. That meant you work. So you're not a bum. You're just retired. Unless you're just strolling the beaches. Let's see. Love Verk has joined. Thank you for being here, Love Verk. I appreciate you. AJ has joined. AJ, weren't you just here? Like, were you just here and then you just left, or what? I'm glad you're here though. Thanks for being here. Love Verk is here. Let's see. Big Ad is in. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Let's see. Wicked Throttle has joined. Thanks for being here. Spinella 1776. Welcome. Rosie, welcome. Axel, welcome. VRE Bossel, welcome. Thanks for being here, you guys. Everybody that's here, thank you so much for being here. Truckers Unite Now. We are a advocacy for the American truck driver and their families. What we are trying to do here is unite all 2 million actual American truck drivers. The non-domicile CDLs we are trying to do away with. They are taking American citizens' lives because they are not professionally trained. And not only that, they are flooding the market with cheap labor. They are taking loads for dirt cheap. So cheap that you can't even upkeep your trucks, the maintenance on your trucks. So commercial driving is a very serious career path. It's a very serious industry, and lives are lost when we make mistakes. So we can't make mistakes, right? We love our industry. We love trucking. Let's see, Kate says, hey buddy, hope all is well. Hey Kate, how are you? All is well. Tonight we're talking about deregulation. We're talking about Jimmy Hoffa. I'm going to start reading here in a little bit, and then we're going to have some Q&A. We're going to be here, I don't know, for like 3 hours. I'm at the IHOP right now. I have a crazy hazmat load that I'm sitting on basically till Monday. So I'm chilling in Seattle. I'm here till Monday with nothing to do, Monday, 10 a.m. So I'm at IHOP, and I figured I'd just do a live here. I brought my sign in, as you can see. And, you know, we're just going to have some fun, and we're going to talk about deregulation, and we're going to figure out why can't we start a union, or how do we start a union? You know what I mean? Just one thing to talk about. Yep, that is cool. Okay. All right, let's see. We got Tiema Roy is in the house. Jarmez is here. Thanks for being here, you guys. Tim Roy is here, has joined. Thank you for joining. It's a little hard to see for me with the white on the bottom, so excuse me if I say your name wrong. I don't do that intentionally. Let's see, Kate says, no truck stops in Seattle except the TA. Yeah. Hey, has everybody here heard that they're building a new TA in Wendover, of all places, off the I-80? They're building a new TA over there, you know, where there's a pilot right now in a bunch of casinos. So I don't know why they would choose there, of all places. If anything, like, make one in Battle Mountain. That's where we need one. Because that little pilot, or that little Flying J that's over there, is like ran down in Battle Mountain, Nevada. Anyway, S Money Sign 6 Lasuro is here. Thanks for being here. We're waiting for Dave also. Dave should be coming in any second. Give me 1 sec, guys. I'm gonna pause it for just 1 second. I'll be right back. Please don't go anywhere. I'm just gonna text him and see where he's at, because we're doing this together. So yeah, come up. We're ready. Let's see, we're waiting for you. All right, cool. So David McCullen called me today. He's the one with AFFTRA. You know, $1 a mile for drivers, $5 a mile minimum for owner operators, and 3% cap on brokers. He is the one that him and some other people started it, but he's the one that keeps pushing it. I don't know if those of you that know him on TikTok, he'll be here in a minute. He called me today. It's actually because of Audrey too. So Audrey is here. She's gonna come up and speak with us here in a little bit, I think, to talk about it. Let's see, Kate says, Battle Mountain has a great truck stop that is independent. I'm trying to think. Are you talking about Sinclair, the dinosaur gas station? Or which one are you talking about? Like the little mom and pop shop? Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Right next to that, they have tankers right there on the north side of the highway. It's more like west side of Battle Mountain, right? Before you get to Battle Mountain. I think that's what you're talking about, huh, Kate? Let's see. McCone is back. Mr. McCone, let's go. All right, McCone, I'm gonna start reading, okay? I'm gonna just bring you up real quick, and then we'll start reading together. Oh, Ghost Trucker's in the house. What's up, Ghost Trucker? How are you, man? Thank you for the heart, me. I appreciate it, brother. McCone is back. All right, McCone, we were just talking about you, dude. Telling you, you're the reason for this live tonight. All right, I know how to bring you up. Hold on. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bing. Okay, never mind, dude. You're gonna have to try to come up, McCone. All right. So let's go. You have to request to come up, McCone, and then we'll get you on video, and then I'm gonna start reading about deregulation. Okay. So then we'll start rocking and rolling, guys. Sorry, I'm going between 3 different devices on one time. Hello on YouTube. I see you. Hello. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. X, I'm glad you're here also. Thanks for being here, everybody. All right. Monica is in the house. Thanks for coming in, Monica. Spinella, 1776. Still here. All right, let me see if I can find you, McCone. Dude, you gotta ask to come up, brother. It won't let me bring you up for some reason. I don't know why. Let's see. I'm trying, dude. Prior to their comments, other interacting in live. Prioritize their comments and other interactions, maybe. Let's see. Ah, here we go. Invitation set. There you go, brother. I figured it out. All right, Kate says Audrey is really cool and smart. She is really cool and smart, isn't she? McCone, what's going on, buddy?
It's McCown.
McCown, sorry. I'm bad with names, man. I can't help it. Yeah. Yep. This is true. I would never say that about anybody. But yeah. All right, so what are we talking about tonight, brother? We're talking about deregulation. Who else?
Been doing a deep dive on the ICC and Jimmy Hoffa.
Okay.
And trucking pre-1980. So in 1935, the ICC started. Well, actually, the ICC started in 18 something.
Okay.
And then Jimmy. Hold on. No, I can't.
Let's do a little bit of breakdown so people know what it is. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the ICC and the Teamsters was what trucking was prior to it is now. So what they had was mandatory rates. They had it locked down. There was complete unity. Jimmy Hoffa could shut down the complete trucking industry with one phone call. They would strike and everybody would stand together. And his motto was, if the trucks aren't moving, the country's not moving. And they took care of their drivers' wages. They took care of the carriers' wages. And this is going to blow your mind, guys. No truck was allowed to run at a loss unless a motor blew or some kind of maintenance issue. They made sure every truck was getting paid a profit for every load.
Wow.
All this stuff, people's like, that's unconstitutional and all this crap. It's not. We did it for 50 years, from 1935 to 1980. And then deregulation hit. Now we've got the leeches and the cancer on this industry where they've broken it up, divided it up, split it up, and pretty much raped it.
Yes, that's right. Okay.
That's right.
Let me see what I got here, brother, okay? Hang on.
So I did send you an email with all that in a lot more detail.
I can't read it while we're on the live, though, so... Well, let me see. I might be able to get in my email. You mean like you want me to read off the email that you sent me? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, you can. It's just a rundown of the comparisons from the ICC and the Teamsters plans that they had.
Okay.
Alongside AFTRA. See, right now, what do we want? We want driver wages. We want a mandatory minimum freight rate where no truck runs at a loss. This whole thing where they're like, you got to take a loss now.
Yes. Oh, McCone, okay.
Average your month together.
McCone. I think I just found it. Let's see. New month, new energy, truck platforms and headline. This isn't it. Oh, the FAA.
The one you sent.
Are you talking about the FAA? No. That's not you.
It's from me. It's from McCown. McCown843@gmail.com should be from you. You sent me a message, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just replied back to it.
Okay, I don't see it.
It should be Teamsters. Well, I hit send on it. Check your spam box, bro.
Okay, yeah. Let me check it real quick, because then I'll read that out. Because people need to get some basic information first,
What email do you have that you're looking at? How many emails do you have?
2 or 3. I mean, I don't have a lot. 2 or 3.
Well, you just sent me an email. Whatever email you sent me, I replied to that one. So.
Oh, I'm not on the right one. Yeah.
But yeah, so Jimmy Hoffa, man, while you're looking it up, I'm going to talk
Thank you.
about it. They have, so what we want right now is we want a $5 minimum freight rate. We want to have full transparency. The number one thing we need is transparency without asking, from the top down, from the shipper to the broker to the carrier to the driver that's paid a percentage. Everybody needs to see that to hold everyone accountable. That's going to open the floodgates for everybody to honestly say, do I want to haul this and leave that much on the table? And the brokers are going to say, you know what? It's not going to change anything. It doesn't matter. And I'm going to agree with them. If that's what they say, then why does it matter?
Right.
Let's do it.
Right.
If they're being so honest, if there's nothing to really see, let's see.
You know, David, most...
Just like if you got your kid's phone.
Yep. Hold on. No, go ahead while I do this. I'm getting in my email. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, Audrey, come on live.
Oh,
This will be awesome.
I see it now, brother. I'm just getting in my other phone. I've never signed in. There we go.
I don't know if you
All
guys
right.
can still hear me, but all right, hey, Audrey.
Yep.
Bring Audrey
Okay.
on live. Can you
I got
guys-
it finally.
There
I got
she
it.
is. All right.
I got it. Welcome in, Audrey. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
We're good.
You guys?
Okay.
Living the dream. Not
Here
sure
we
what
go.
dream it is, but
Okay, what do we want to go over first? The ICC? Let's see, a breakdown of the AFTA. Okay. Purpose of the ICC, the Interstate Commerce Commission, regulated trucking routes, rates, and carrier. Hang on, guys. Hang on. We'll rock and roll here. Okay, the purpose of the ICC, the Interstate Commerce Commission, regulated trucking rates, routes, and carriers' entry to stabilize the market. The Teamsters enforced fair pay and working conditions throughout union contracts. AFF-TRA restores structures throughout legislative reform, reinstating rate standards, transparency, and accountability to stop below-cost hauling. Core principle: no load at a loss. Freight rates were filed, approved, and designed to cover all costs plus profit. Not at a loss again. Carriers must earn above operating costs, and drivers must receive a mandatory minimum of $1 per mile. Dude, this is the AFF-TRA thing. This is not a breakdown of, which I don't mind saying it, David, but this is not what we're looking for right now.
no,
Yeah.
it's a side-by-side comparison. Each section is
Oh.
talking about each section of the ICC.
Okay.
So what the ICC was doing and what we're trying to get done today.
I gotcha.
It's a two-part comparison.
I got
Do
you.
you want me to go over the history, like start from the beginning and go down the history?
That's what I wanted to do first. Yes, like we need to go over
So
dereg.
let's-
Go ahead.
No, so we'll start with deregulation and then we'll go back to Jimmy Hoffa and we'll kind of do this. So if anybody gets lost, put your questions in the chat and I promise I'll get back to it because I kind of have the history broke down because again I'm kind of like the nerdy librarian girl. So anyways, so when we talk about, I think the number one question that everybody has is that can truckers start a union today? And the answer is yes. Truckers have full legal rights under the National Labor Relations Act, which is the NLRA, to organize and form a union as long as they are classified as employees. And I think Wild Child put this in there before, is that owner-operators would not qualify under the NLRA to be a union. So employee truck drivers can legally form or join a union, and that includes drivers at freight companies, logistics firms, other transportation employees, all that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, though, independent owner-operators are generally not covered under the NLRA, and so they can't unionize in a traditional sense. However, some states and advocacy groups are pushing for expanded rights of that or alternative organizing methods, right? So if we want to talk, we'll cover the Teamsters here in a minute, but I want to talk a little bit, let's go to talk about deregulation, and let's talk about the ICC. So,
Okay.
Why did deregulation happen? Before 1980, the trucking industry was tightly controlled by the Interstate Commerce Commission, the ICC, which regulated who could operate specific routes, what they could haul, and how much they could charge. The system, the ICC system, unfortunately, though, created some really serious inefficiencies. It inflated costs and it limited competition. And by the late 70s, economic studies showed that regulation led to deadweight losses, of somewhere between 170 to 900 million dollars annually, depending on the.
What does
type
dead
of-
weight losses mean? What does dead weight
So,
losses mean?
so dead weight losses would be, just losses that were occurred because there wasn't competition.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
it also led to higher consumer pricing due to inflated shipping costs, and then there were barriers to entry that basically stifled certain people's ability to join the ICC. To join the ICC, you had to have it was an authority, and it was very, very expensive, and it priced out many people. So the high inflation and fuel costs pushed policymakers in Congress to find ways to reduce consumer prices and improve efficiency. Does that sound familiar?
Yes.
In the current environment,
Yes.
political momentum. So deregulation was part of a really huge, broad, bipartisan movement that included the railroads and the Staggers Act of 1980 and the airlines, which was the Airline Deregulation Act of 1978. Carter, Ford, and Nixon all appointed ICC commissioners who favored competition. Carter's administration is finally who pushed for trucking reform. There were lots of advocacy groups, coalitions of shippers, economists, and economic groups who lobbied for deregulation to improve the services and reduce costs. So what they got out of that was the Motor Carrier Act of 1980. And what that did is that eliminated rates that set collective prices. It allowed carriers to publish their own rates, simplified entry, making it easier for new trucking companies to compete, and reduced the red tape, saving fuel and lowering cost. Carter was quoted as saying it's historic legislation that can save consumers $8 billion annually and conserve hundreds of millions of gallons of fuel. So keep in mind, even back then, there was lots of conversation had about fuel and fuel economy and all that. So
Sure.
What the long-term impacts of that is an explosion of new carriers. Thousands of small trucking firms now got into the trucking industry. And they talk about it lowered shipping costs. Prices dropped on many routes. And what this did is it shifted. Union power declined and wages became more variable. It became more of a capitalistic and free market. And then they talked about greater flexibility. Shippers gained more options and control in that. So we talk about how that regulation affected. Let's talk about owner-operators for a minute. So
Okay.
owner-operators had really huge barriers to entry of the ICC because ICC authority was expensive and incredibly hard to get. It made it so difficult for independents. They had to lease on to carriers who held these permits through the ICC because it was just an astronomical cost, right?
Right.
And so it also implemented rate restrictions. They couldn't freely negotiate prices. Rates were often set by rate bureaus and approved by the ICC. So they literally had total control of that. And they also limited routes. You couldn't just haul anywhere. Routes and commodities were tightly controlled by the ICC. So what it did is overall it opened the market, it increased competition, and it did lower the rates. So Jimmy Hoffa was a huge figure in all that. He was this huge labor union guy who led the Teamsters, and as we all know, kind of had that mysterious disappearance, right? And so one of the things that he, kind of the thing that he was is he rose in the ranks through the IBTs, to the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. He became president in 1957. He grew the Teamsters to over 2 million members and made it the largest union in the U.S. Can you think about that? In 1957, 2 million members.
Wow,
So
which
he
today's
was-
like 50 million maybe, you know what I mean? Back then, the population.
Right, exactly. So he negotiated the National Master Freight Agreement in 1964, which was the first national contract for truckers, revolutionizing labor standards. So a lot of the things that if you look at the National Master Freight Agreement, you're going to see very similar asks in the GOT Acts. There's a lot of similarities between those two. And he was really a tough guy. He was known for his negotiating skills. He was huge in support of civil rights. He had strong opposition to segregation within the union. However, Mr. Hoffa had some problems. He sort of kind of got into some trouble with jury tampering and bribery and fraud. And actually, in 1971, President Nixon pardoned him with the condition that he couldn't run for union leadership again until the 80s. But despite the president's pardon, he tried to regain control of the Teamsters and had some mob ties and all this stuff. And as we all know, his body was never found. And the FBI has actually reopened that case multiple times, including in 2025. So maybe someone will find out.
He's part of a foundation somewhere in one of the buildings in New York.
So there's all sorts of speculation about that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to touch briefly on Teamsters, and then I know there's been some questions and all that in the chat. So we'll get to those too. So the Teamsters remain probably one of the most powerful unions in 2025 across the board, especially in logistics and freight. And even emerging sectors like Amazon, their influence is really strong. Sean O'Brien, who's the president of Teamsters, has launched 229 strikes in 2.5 years, which is 7 times more than Hoffa did in the last decade.
Who do they represent? Only like, who do they represent? Mega carrier drivers?
So they represent major employers like UPS, Pepsi, Cisco, US Foods, DHL, but that's all brought through bottom-up campaigns led by the employees who want change within their organization. So it's not like they go in and take over. They have somebody who files an application and they help from the bottom up for these employees. There's a really strong presence right now with the Teamsters actively organizing Amazon workers and coordinating national peak season strikes and building local steward networks and all that. So that's really interesting when you think about it, is they start from the bottom up where many political organizations try to go top down. So that I thought was really interesting to me.
Grassroots.
There's a lot, grassroots, baby. So there's been a lot of political shift in and out of the Teamsters, especially recently. The Teamsters political arm, so they have a PAC, a political action committee, are now heavily donating towards Republicans. They were and have been for many years Democratic leaning because of the union support. Now they're kind of going with the Republicans. Sean O'Brien has appeared most recently with Vice President J.D. Vance, Transportation Secretary Duffy.
Wow.
The Teamsters has even came out and blamed the Democrats for the 2025 government shutdown.
What's the amount of drivers, though, that the Teamsters represent compared to how many drivers are there? So if they represent, FedEx, UPS, that's only less than what? Probably 8% of drivers in the United States, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's.
So who, what I mean? If they represent only those mega carrier drivers, we need a union that represents owner operators, which is 86% from what I've researched. Owner operators, one man, one truck, or 20 trucks or under in a carrier is 86% of the United States. So
right. So their total membership right now is about 1.4 million, and they represent about 20% of commercial truck drivers in the U.S. That's actually down from where it was in 1980 when deregulation happened. It was about 50% commercial drivers then, but now they have truck drivers, dock workers, mechanics, office staff. I mean, they've kind of exploded into other realms as well. So, I mean, there's some interesting history there. I mean, I'm willing to answer any questions if there's anything else anybody really kind of wants to go down the history of, but that's kind of the nuts and bolts of the history.
Okay. Thank you, Audrey. Let's see. I'll go back on the chat and see what questions we had. McCone, what do you think? I was thinking earlier, y'all. What?
That was as good as the documentary I watched.
Right.
That's awesome.
There's a lot of good ones on YouTube. Yeah. So as far as
what we gotta focus on is what they did for the drivers and the carriers that they were supporting. They made sure that no truck run at a loss. They made sure that no driver was getting an unfair wage. That's what the beauty of the ICC and the Teamsters was. They took care of their own industry. That's what we've lost now. They've divided us all up, and we've got nothing. Everybody's running their own direction. It's the Wild West. Brokers have no regulations, have nothing keeping them wrangled in. There's no transparency. There's no enforcement of laws. That's what we've got to get back to.
Right. So independent contractors are not allowed to start a union. But what if let's say you and I started a union and we had a bunch of employees for 1 penny a year it costs you to be our employee, and then we represented you as your union rep. What if we did that? You know what I'm saying? I would join it for a penny. So it's not about the money, it's about the unity and then having the power.
Stand together.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like I've saying all my life.
Technically, there doesn't have to be a charge for anything. All we need to have is a message and something to get behind that we stand behind and move behind, in a platform that we can communicate in real time.
There has to be a charge for you to be considered an employee, David. For you to be considered an employee, for me to be able to represent you as your union member, you can't be an independent contractor. You have to be an employee, right? Somewhere. So we start a business. We call it ABC Trucking.
That's all. Think about this. If you got a million friends that are owner-operators, you say, hey, guys, let's take lunch on Friday. You don't need to have an organization to do that. We're Americans. If a million guys want to take off at noon on Friday for the weekend and not book any loads,
yeah,
we can do that. We're Americans. There is nothing that can stop us from taking a lunch break and not booking loads for certain rates or whatever we want. But when you start charging money, that's when you got to have a name and a union and everything. We don't need to do that. We can just get drivers in a group. We have platforms now like Telegram. I'm sure there's Discord. There's all these things where you can have hundreds of thousands of people in one communication and work together, because we all want the same thing. We all want transparency. We all want a fair wage. We don't want to be treated like slaves out here running 168 hours a week for pennies on the dollar. Right?
Correct. Yes. I'm saying though, as far as starting a union, how do we start a union, right? Because our members can't be owner operators, but that's who needs to be represented is owner operators. So how do you get your owner operator to be a part of your union if they're an independent contractor? Well, what if they're your employee and they make a penny a year and then their dues are 1 penny a year? Then bam, you now have a union with millions of owner operators. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can call them your employees, but they're not your employees. They're an independent contractor that we have a fancy name behind so that legally we can represent them. To work around it, yeah. Yeah, just like the brokers have created carrier packages to get around the rule of 371.3. Like I always say in all my lives, you just have to be creative. You just have to figure out a way around the brick wall. You know, brick walls are only so long and so deep. Dig a tunnel under. Dig a tunnel over. Or
so the problem is that the difference between a union versus an association, there's quite a few things. So a union has legal authority under the National Labor Relations Act, so that NLRA, and they can compel employers to bargain for better wages. They can compel you to take take Fridays and go to lunch. Associations don't have a collective bargaining labor law. The other thing is that usually the dues go to support legal and strike funds. So that would have to be something you would figure out. The other thing is that employee-employer relationships. So who's going to assume the liability? Say you have one nefarious owner-operator, and there's bad apples in all carts, right? Sure. And you have one nefarious actor who goes out and does something bad, and there's a whole legal thing to that, is that then you're going to be held legally liable for your employee, I put in air quotes. So an association is probably a lot better way to go when you're looking at things like that. You think about things like National Farm Bureau and the Association of Realtors and Farmers Union and all of those kinds of things. They're associations, but they still have lobbying power. They still have membership power. Their dues are voluntary and they may be based on the services you want. I mean, unions can negotiate binding contracts where associations cannot. They advocate, educate, and organize. They can't compel employers or government except through lobbying.
And what would it does, and what would we be leveraging against the spot market? That is so complex in and of itself, depending on what market you're in, what type of freight, what area. It's so complicated. ATA, but real ATA. Oh yeah.
I like George's comment. Like the ATA, but the real ATA. Yeah, unfortunately, it goes back to associations have a lot of power because you can have diversity within your organization or your association. Unions are pretty rigid and they're pretty strict. I mean, so you can make that a lot different. So.
Right.
Well, both sides have lobbyists, so I'm kind of confused when you said only unions have lobbyists, or the ADA, or so.
Okay, so what I mean by lobbyists is that both of them have lobbyists, but one of them have legal authority to compel. The other one does not. A union has legal authority to compel.
On a contractual basis, yes, but outside of that, no.
Well, a union can strike, an association can't.
Even in the South, the association still, I mean, depending on the workers, man, there's strike or, quote, strike. Without that, it's called labor reform. And a lot of people are seeing that now, too.
Yeah,
There's
so.
a lot of headhunters out there. A lot of people just put people in warm bodies in positions that are completely not qualified.
Right. So Vet Bros, welcome in. Tell us a little bit about yourself and also what is on your mind.
Not much. I was just kind of coming in to see what's up. First time being here, so I dropped you a follow.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna follow you too. Just some advice. I would put a profile pic on your emblem there. Most people won't even let you up. I just kind of.
24-hour natter on this profile pic thing. So.
No worries. I'm just saying most people won't even let you up to talk if you don't have a profile pic or a picture of some kind on it. You know what I mean? Because.
Well,
Yeah.
Honestly, I think someone's trying to save my ass. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So basically.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead. Yes, we want to know about you. Go ahead, and then I'll tell you what we do here at Truckers Unite Now. Go ahead.
So Truckers Unite is interesting. Just the name, first of all, it's provocative. I like it. I'm the owner and CEO of TS Controls. Industrial automation, PLC robotic programming. That's about it.
Okay.
So,
Do you have any trucks, or are you a truck driver on the side or anything, or no?
no, it's not completely applicable, but one business owner to another. And the
Nice.
I can't see your name down there because with the new iPhones, man, I don't know what it is with this keyboard, but it stays stuck up on TikTok right now.
I don't know if my name is on there, but my name is Vince Fazio. That's my actual name.
Maybe if I type something, will it go down? No, it didn't leave. Now he's got a smiley face, I think, in the chat.
That's funny.
But ain't no worries, man. It was a good meeting. So do you own your own business or no?
I do. I have a small business, just one man, one truck. I support my family, 6 people. I've been an owner-operator for 9 years now, a truck driver for 11. I have 1.3 safe million miles under my belt. I drive the lower 48 states. And 2 months ago, I went to the White House to strike. Initially, it was just for me. I wanted to tell Trump I tried to meet Trump. I was striking for truck drivers. I'm sick of the double brokering. I'm sick of all the cheap labor that's coming in that's destroying our industry. I'm tired of my fellow citizen, your fellow citizens, our beautiful citizens being unalived by unprofessional truck drivers. And I didn't say Middle Eastern men or illegals. I said unprofessional drivers. There's a big difference, right? Like you need to know English to drive a commercial vehicle. Or any vehicle actually for that, even a 4-wheeler. If you're in a Honda Accord, you should know English in this country to drive. It's common sense. Anyways, I mean, I could go on for hours, but basically what we're doing here at Truckers Unite Now is I started this organization 2 months ago, just one man, one show, one man, one truck. I've met a lot of great people that are helping me and shaping me and molding me. And I'm now a trucking advocate. I also work full time, run my business, husband, father of 4. And I just want to help all of us get better rates. I want to help try to protect and save the American trucking industry. To me, it's not about the money. It's not just a job. To me, it's a lifestyle. It's everything to me. I owe everything to trucking, brother. I owe everything. I was not a successful or decent citizen. I was a decent citizen, but I wasn't like an involved citizen like I am now. When I got into trucking, I mean, it helped me buy my house. We have a decent life, my wife and I. My kids are all in sports, and we feed our family very well, and we have a good American dream of a life. And
That's the goal, right?
yeah, that's the goal. And it started going downhill about 2, 3 years ago. And I have a hard time understanding why my amount of energy, my amount of work has not changed, not one bit. Most of my loads haven't changed. The way I get loads to and from, nothing's changed, but my pay has gone down 50%. Trucking has dropped 20% in the last 3 years, and inflation's gone up 30%. 30 plus 20 is 50. I make 50% less. So I started my life.
I love this VA math for you.
What's that?
I said, I love this VA math for you. I'm not sure if you're a vet or not.
I'm not a veteran, no. Yeah.
Where you get that joke.
Yeah. It's all good, man.
My fiance's a broker. That's all I wanted to, for y'all to kind of connect. And
Yeah.
a little outside of Montreal.
Yeah, have her come up. We love brokers. Well, we like the good brokers.
Yeah, she's a good broker, man.
She's a
honest.
fair, is she okay, if she's an honest, fair broker, God bless her. You know what I mean?
That was one of her complaints, to be honest with you. She's like, I don't know if I can do it because it's more sales. I got a lot of people. I was like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you fucking don't. Tell them what's up. Tell them what the rate is, and if they don't want it, push it to somebody else.
Right.
I mean, because somebody's will take it. I mean, but you got to keep in mind the same shit I do as a contractor.
Right.
This automation, dude. It's at the end of the day, it's going to be quality over quantity, right?
That's right. That's
So,
right.
as long as you get out there and have a good reputation, you'll be all right.
That's right. I feel like
So
that's,
now they're putting them on the not quality drivers. Don't forget that.
So that's been a thing for a long time between
yeah, it's okay. David, how do I get you up on camera? I couldn't figure that. Do you want to get up on camera or no?
Hey, let me swipe out and come right back if you don't mind. I gotta get this keyboard down. I'll be on camera for you.
No worry. I mean, you don't have to, but it's all good. David, I was trying to do like a split screen. I couldn't figure it out earlier. I'll try on the next slide. But let's see. Okay. But yeah, Vet Bro. So basically, we are just trying to save the American trucking industry and make it to where American citizens that are true professionals can make a decent living for themselves and their families. Let's see. George Kirk is laughing. Very good. Okay, I'm laughing with you. You echo on every live, man. Who you saying, George? I do. I echo on every live.
I don't hear an echo.
Okay. See, I think he's spamming us, possibly.
Probably.
We have a lot of spammers. So yeah. So anyways, I'm just, everybody like, what do they say? The Phoenix, right? The Phoenix gets sick and tired of being sick and tired, and then it becomes a new person, and it goes through a lot of pain, and catches on fire, and then becomes new. That was kind of me 2 months ago. I was just a broken man. I was desperate. I didn't know what to do. I said, you know what? Forget Congress and Senate. I'm going to the Commander in Chief. I think that he would want to talk to a blue collar worker, a family man, somebody that is a patriot that loves this country. I ran all during COVID, and like you just asked, I never served this country, right? I'm not a vet. So for me, when I was able to drive my truck and deliver goods and services to the American people during COVID, I mean, the first 30 days, I was scared, okay? I was nervous. I thought it was, might take me out, right? But I did it anyway.
Scared on the first time you quit your W-2 job and decided to pursue this career? When the whole entrepreneurial path?
Say that again. Was I more scared when I quit my job?
When this was going on, or like when you first took the leap to be self-employed?
No, I'm talking about when C-19,
I know, because it was shutting down a lot of stuff.
I wasn't afraid of that at all, no, because it's trucking. And I mean, if trucking collapses, the economy collapses, and the least of my worries is money. Huh?
Yeah, it's about like if oil goes below 60 or above 80.
Yeah, I wasn't worried about it at all, no. I wasn't.
I was just wondering, because like, I remember my first day after quit my W-2 job, decided to do my entrepreneurial thing full time.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I had a panic attack. I was like, what the hell did I just do? Like, I mean, $100,000 a year job, I quit,
I got you. Yeah.
So, I was at Audrey. I saw your comment. I never saw mine back, but yeah, I appreciate it, Audrey.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's all about, man. No risk, no reward. So,
Absolutely, dude.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you got nothing to lose, noticing you can take as much risk as you want to. A lot of people don't realize that, and they don't do it.
Right.
I don't know why they don't.
I don't know either, especially in this country. You know, if you're gonna make it anywhere, you can make it here. You know.
Well, I mean, I'd probably choose to be like a, Saudi prince or something like that. I'll give you to it. But we're not that lucky.
We're not that lucky.
Better chances of that than winning a damn Powerball. I promise you that.
Right. I'm starting to wonder if the Powerball's even real. I don't know. You know, that might be a scam too. Who knows? Anyways, okay, so as for trucking, we are talking tonight about deregulation. In the 80s, trucking was awesome, man. Truck drivers were making about $35,000, which today, this is company, which today is about $175,000, $200,000 for company. And a lot of people say, "Oh man, that's so much money. You're crazy. Like, who's gonna pay $175,000?" Bro, the money's there. The money's already there.
I don't understand how the rate per mile is above $1 yet.
There's cheap labor in this country. There's oh man. When
Everybody's got to take the English proficiency test now. Like it's not with the DOT.
yeah.
Not everybody, but I mean, it's a screening, but.
I'd like to drop something in there. The reason why the rates are so low is because we don't have an industry that stands up for each other. We allow the shippers and the brokers to dictate what the rates are. And we get left with scraps.
Yeah, a lot of brokers are taking 40 to 60% of our revenue right now. Brokers, in my opinion, shouldn't make more than 7%. In my opinion. You know, they don't take the risk, the sacrifice, the amount of work that's put into a load. Let's say a 4-day load going to New York. Let's say it pays $8,000. Why would a broker take 40% of that? That's insane. The truck driver, you know how much this equipment costs? And you're talking 4 days at 14 hours a day. I mean, it's, truck drivers have always gotten a lot of money because they need a lot of money. The bottom line, it's not just a computer and a one bedroom to be a broker and start a business. You know, a radiator for a truck is $4,000, $4,000 for a radiator. You know what I mean? Hourly rate is almost $200 an hour now. An oil change is $800. So our equipment is really, really expensive. Our taxes are really high. So we need that extra revenue to run our business. And slowly brokers slowly over the decades, they've taken more and more. And then the shippers have noticed what the brokers are making and they're like, oh, hell no. So now the shippers are not paying the brokers as much in a lot of cases. So nobody's making money but the shippers. So that's what we're doing here, Vet Bros. We are flipping the script.
And on the flip side, the brokers, they say, well, if they're stupid enough to take it, I don't know any other industry, like real estate, for instance. Brokers in real estate, there's a thing called fiduciary. They make sure everybody wins in the process. The buyer, the seller, everybody.
The thing to remember about that, though, no, Audrey's not a realtor. Audrey is not a realtor. Audrey is a policy girl. The thing to remember about fiduciary is...
Holy shit, Audrey. I don't know. Sorry.
That's okay. You're totally fine. Yes, and we can have a chat offline. The short abridged version of what I do is that I was blue collar timber girl, grew up farm ranch girl. Found out really quick that timber sales forestry wasn't going to be a thing, and ended up fighting wildland fire and worked in Washington D.C. in the winter. So that's it.
I didn't catch the fire. I mean, I didn't figure the fire part apart. I figured DC part pretty quickly.
Yeah, no.
Policy girl, get out of here.
I'm a policy girl who just happens to, know something about the real world.
Hey, which side do you want, Walker? When you try to make it political, I'm just curious.
You want to know what side I'm on? I'm on the side of right, and I'm on the side of writing good policy. I don't care if you're an R or a D, a green or a P. I want good policy for America.
There we go.
That's who I am.
There we go.
Hey, Audrey, thank you for not just banning menthol cigarettes completely.
Yeah, that's a thing, right? Like,
He's good, huh, Andre?
That is a thing. So, and because you're a vet, you'll appreciate this. I'm an Air Force captain's daughter, so I'm a little saucy. So you can't blame that.
Did you serve yourself?
I did not serve myself because I wanted to be a Marine, and my daddy told me no. So there's that.
Oh, that's new for me.
Hey, Marine Corps birthday's coming up.
It is.
Hey, don't miss the ball, Audrey.
There you go. So.
I was Air Force too, so I can't say.
Oh, there you go. So no, the thing about fiduciary is that it was not the thing to remember about a lot of different brokers across other industries is that they came together as an industry. They set their own rates, they set their own rules, they set their own all of that. And so the freight industry is a little bit different. They haven't came to do that. The only reason why the
Yes.
realtors did
Can I
it
get
is because
another
they
one?
came,
Oh,
they came together themselves.
Coke or Pepsi. Yeah, thank you.
Right. This is what we got in the end of fucking crooked system. Excuse my language, sorry.
Yeah, David.
It's
Jeez.
not a crooked system. Hey, do you want my take on this from the initial automation and controls?
That's what we're doing here. Honesty. Let's go.
It's
Yes.
the exact same thing, dude. It's the exact same model that they're using with this shit. And then the same thing happened in Germany. This is why you don't see a lot of German contractors at these industrial sites like Mercedes, Volvo, BMW, Plant 10, you name it, right? That's why they seek outside labor on a contract basis.
Thank you.
Because,
Appreciate
like, the cheapest rates, especially on wind right now, especially with God, I don't know how I haven't been keeping track of it. I haven't had a job since fucking March, so it's been a little bit of a dry spell, but and I don't know. It is what it is, I guess. It's just a lot of parallels from what you were saying about the narration about how the truck industry is with the brokers. I call them the middleman, the salesman, fucking bullshit. There's no need for them. To me, it's absolutely fucking abhorrent and disgusting. The fact that you guys can't just go straight to the truck, like to where the freight needs to be hauled and do it directly. And that's what I did to interrupt the whole industrial automation game with Mike Peters out of Pitco in Tennessee, ATN with Thomas Brandler out of Tennessee, Gas Control, Mark Rutland out of Greenville, South Carolina. I mean, there's a lot of the same people doing a lot of the same shit. And then even Tony Wallace, Automated America, right? I took his fucking biggest client.
Wow.
And then at the end of the day, it's not a bragging thing. It's a we got to fix this shit issue because all those people playing, have many hands in the pot, grabbing money before the
Bam.
contractor every fucking sees it.
Yeah, everybody's going to be at home
It's the
just
same
making
fucking
money. No workers. There's going to be no workers left. Like,
And this is
You know.
exactly what happened in Germany. This is why they came to the U.S. And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these people, a lot of these brokers are German-based. They're just probably a subsidiary in the U.S.
like I said, there's a lot of carriers and brokers outside of the USA. That's what we're trying to do also is stop that altogether. I'm confident that I'm going to be able to talk to Trump. I know that sounds crazy, but I am not going to stop. I'm going to keep going to the White House, and I'm going to, about 4 or 5 times a year, I'm going to keep going until I see him, period.
A pro tip,
Yeah.
if you really want to get in there, I don't know, reach out to Captain Tail or what's up, either him or his backup, the bald guy.
Okay.
They did a hell of a new picture that was Men in Black. So, I mean,
You mean to...
Elon's not there anymore, so I can interview it with his SpaceX email, but
Right. I don't know. You know, a lot of people respect that, and a lot of people like that when somebody does. There's not very many humans on the planet that keep trying, right? Most people give up. The average human being gives up easily. I mean, I just look at my kids, 3 out of 4, they pretty much just give up right away. There's only one that will not stop until he gets what he wants, so that's kind of human nature, I guess, is to be somewhat lazy, especially today.
I'm not going to stop till I'm dead or in jail or rich. Hopefully rich. There's a 33% chance I get that one.
Well, I'll tell you this, all the money in the world can't buy you workers, and all the automation in the world isn't going to feed.
General contractors, just with the PO, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. What are we going to do when everything's automated and nobody has jobs anymore? Where are we going to hide when those people come to get us? Where are we going to hide?
No, it's going to strike like the port workers and get their jobs back.
Yeah.
I mean,
That
seriously,
was
you remember,
good.
that's weird all that went away too.
Oh boy. George Kirk. Oh,
Elon Musk's robot, man, that Optimus 3 Gen. Dude, they might not even need automated trucks once that thing gets up and running. They'll probably do that.
Well, I don't do the LiDAR, the automated guided vehicles, all that shit. I don't do any of that. I work with 6-7 axis robots. It's just to take out repetitive tasks.
what's
That
6-7?
heavy
What is that?
6-7. Not the kid shit. That was 6 or 7 axis robot. So a 6 axis robot is a fixed base, and 7 axis robot is only like a track. It can run linear.
What does it do?
My trailer right now. Test
The
it.
ones that I do, they either take a place or they do like resistance or spot welding.
Oh,
The
okay.
majority of what I do is automotive.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
like Kuka, Fanic, ABB.
Oh, George
Try to give
did.
them a shout out.
All right. George, welcome in, man. What's on your mind?
Oh,
George, we can barely hear you, brother.
I said I'm grateful for what you guys are doing, and being grateful for being an American immigrant, but I'm home still in Ohio and Michigan, and I'm just supporting you all the way, for whatever, for all your reasons and everything.
Awesome. Well, thank you, George. We appreciate it. What do you do, George? What do you do? Are you a truck driver?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, I talked to you about that last time. I'm driving a truck for 15 years now.
Oh, okay, Kirk. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember you now. Okay, I'm looking up your profile.
I hold steel in Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, and it's been dead for the last few years.
Nice.
It was booming like crazy, and all of a sudden it just died. And we have no tools. That's what we do, tools and stuff. And all of a sudden it just died. I don't know, but we gotta make the change to this industry.
Right. What do you think about starting a union?
Yeah, I just put it on, so we should start the union. Not me, I'm an immigrant, but you should start the union. I'm gonna join it first day.
Nice,
And,
nice.
New ATA, you can start New American Trucking Association or whatever. I've been to Orlando, Broker Care Summit. I've heard everything from the broker side, the carrier side. I heard everything from the bottom to the top. And, I think to change this, there is a, big opportunity to start the union right now. I think so.
Yeah, I'd like to start a union that's similar to our Constitution, similar to the thinking of like our forefathers, that gets rid of pride and ego, gets rid of the human heart, and protects everyone from the nature of hate and greed and all those things that we're all capable of, right? Start a union or an association, and then figure out a way to protect that union where it doesn't become OOIDA or ATA, or it's not possible for any one man or one woman to become corrupt, to be paid through a backdoor deal somewhere, or a shareholder. Just keep the shareholders out. Like, make it as much as possible not about money, but about the quality of life for truck drivers and their families. You know how many truck drivers there are that pass away on the road, and their families can't even afford to get her or him home? I mean, this person's working 70 hours a week, and they can't afford enough money to get the body home. And they're not gamblers or drinkers or drugs or anything. They just, they're not making enough. Truck drivers aren't making enough, and they're the backbone of this country. It needs to change. It's going to change, period. It's going to change very soon, within the next couple of years. So,
Can I say something?
What's that?
Can I say something?
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I started trucking almost 12 years ago. And 12 years ago, I was making better living than I'm doing it right now, to be honest with you. 12 years ago, I was making great money. I had enough for everything. To get an apartment, I met my wife, and everything was really good. But,
Right.
what I was trying to say, it's not about that. It's about just you need some change, because the trucking was going down for the last 7 years. After COVID, after everybody's got greedy, during the COVID, everybody's got greedy. Brokers, carriers. So first of them were carriers. Carriers got greedy. Brokers couldn't pay them enough. And now brokers getting greedy, and that's gotta change. That's all I'm gonna have to say. If something else is gonna have to say, just go ahead.
That's right. That's right. I agree with you.
I got an obvious question though for you, brother.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you in a suit and tie, or I guess a tie and a colored
Did you?
collar shirt with a lavalier mic in a restaurant right now?
Because I'm on a hazmat load in Seattle, Washington, and that hazmat. I kind of like. If you want to hear the story.
You gotta dress like the FBI. Is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah. I'm in a shirt and tie to try to set an example for other drivers, and this is the shirt and tie that I went to Washington in, and so every time I do a live, 99% of the time I do a live, I wear the shirt and tie just to, I don't know, it's just my thing, man.
Well, just a weird thing that I don't know, I feel dismissive of bringing it up. It's almost like you own a brokerage firm trying to figure out how to make it better. They getting driver complaints on TikTok. If that's the case, good on you, bro. Very cavalier for sure.
Thank you.
But
It's working. Hey, I'm getting attention. It's working. So, you know.
You're doing a good job.
Thank you.
I'm not knocking you forward at all. I just want to call it out. It's like, I don't know any driver that drives in the damn white.
I don't drive in this. For the record, I don't drive in this. Yeah.
Okay.
I put this on for the live. Yeah.
No, you're good, bro. Anyway, cheers. I'm still waiting for my old lady to come out here. She's a broker, so.
Yeah, have her come up, man. Just go ahead and.
She doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, how many drivers are in here? She might get a bunch of shit.
99%. 99%.
She
won't-
probably get a bunch of shit.
No, man, she's good. She's safe.
No, like I said, she's an honest person, so.
Linen shirts and, cool Levi's. And people were like, oh, what are you doing? When I was in the button roll up.
Yeah.
Hey, when you got in from Texarkana, that was interesting.
Yeah, I was in Texarkana. I've been everywhere. Okay.
I've been everywhere.
It's nice, right? Because, I mean, not nice, but I dress, like Levi's in a nice linen shirt.
I try not to wear my Days of Dukes in a damn Lowe's truck stop because I think I'm a lot lizard.
Oh, man. Dude. Why'd you put that image in my head? Come on,
It
man.
can get worse. Hey, wait till you see me walk around my assless chat.
A place where there are still lot lizards. Lot lizards were in Ontario, California. They
don't move east for sure.
Guys, they're not called lot lizards anymore. They're called recreational reptiles.
Oh, let's go. Hey,
Ugh.
you better wrap before you catch that lizard, bro.
That's gross. That's gross. No, thank you.
Hey, you know about the dip. Never mind.
There's a reason I got married. There's a reason I got married, so I wouldn't have to worry about any of that. Just get married, fellas, and be good to your woman, and then you never got to worry about that part the rest of your life. You're in. Don't worry about it.
Holy shit,
Don't
like
worry
one
about
dude went up to her.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Let's see. All right.
It's completely true, though. 100%, brother.
Carrier response says we need to stop negotiating with brokers who use AI. I didn't know brokers are using AI now.
Really?
AI is going to ruin everything. AI is going to ruin everything.
They're going to use AI, but the problem is that there's government incentive to use AI. AI is not going away.
Oh, yes, it is. For lawyers, it has. Lawyers, apparently, it's a crime now. Luckily, I didn't pass the bar, so my pro se response was fucking ChatGPT.
Well, lawyers play in a square box that none of us are allowed to play in, nor do we really want to. But AI is not going away. It's going to become more and more prominent. And the reality is that we've got to figure out how to work with it and around it, but it's not going away.
Dude, so my new AI chatbot is a domineering cavalier woman from DC named Audrey Waller.
Excuse me. She's pretty much badass.
Dude, she's pretty fucking cool, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit, my first fucking lobbyist that wasn't with fucking big tobacco.
Y'all have me. I'm confused. I'm completely confused.
No, well, Audrey's saying she's not CIA.
Ah.
I grew up in Palo Alto. I went to the same high school as Steve Jobs.
Well, how the fuck is he doing these days?
No, Steve Wozniak is actually doing some pretty
No, I didn't say, well, you said Steve Jobs, not Wozniak. Who the fuck is Steve Wozniak?
Steve Wozniak, you don't know who he is.
What is that, actor?
He's the co-founder of Apple.
Oh, Steve Jobs isn't doing so well.
No, Steve Jobs is dead.
I mean, he's probably doing better than most of us right now, though.
Wozniak is still alive.
Dude, so I heard they filled his coffin with money. So I saw a new TikTok forever. Y'all have a reason like
I don't
deal with
know
that.
what you're talking about, but just
She's like, I already got it. Don't worry about it. Discount it.
the was. They call him the was, and he's really a good person. He actually less money because he's not all about money, right?
Kate, what are you talking? Are you talking about some damn Neon Valley shit?
What are you talking about?
Well, it used to be Silicon Valley, and then everybody got tired of fake tits, and they all turned gay, and they turned Neon Valley.
We call it the Silicon Valley. Yes, I am from Cupertino, Los Altos, Palo Alto. I'm from that area.
I'm from White City.
Hey, you guys know why women don't wear skirts in Silicon Valley anymore?
Yeah, keep it clean. Keep it clean.
No, it's TikTok after dark. It's truckers, bro. What are you talking about?
Okay, so back to deregulation. Kate, what do you know about deregulation?
I love it.
What?
What do you know about deregulation? What do you think about that time, the 80s? Do you think we could go back to that time? Would you like to go back to the 80s?
She lives in Portland. They fucking legalize everything.
I'm not.
That's never gonna happen. AI is gonna take everything. Everything over.
You know, Cupertino in the 80s, right? So I don't know what you're talking about.
So there was a time before 1980 where all truckers and carriers moved as one industry. They made their own decisions. They set their own rates. They made sure they didn't operate at a loss. There was no brokers coming in saying cutting rates or whatever, however they're doing
Why are you
it.
talking about the
Oh,
80s?
hold on,
Because
Kate.
my-
Kate, hold on. Let him finish. Let him
Because they
finish.
deregulated in the guise of free market. When now they put the market in the hands of it's been looted by mega corporations and mega brokerages that have stolen everything from the carriers, the owner operators, the individual independent drivers. They're going out of business 100 a month.
Right.
Pre-1980, no carriers were going out of business. Everyone was extremely profitable, and we kept it as an industry, operated as one. Except now it's just
Hey, let me tell you
it's bad
something
for itself.
about myself. So my great uncle used to run over the grapevine, before it was in New Street. And that's not why I became a trucker. I became a trucker because I love driving. But I'm going to tell you a little something that you probably should be paying attention to. Disregard all the bullshit. What's happening in Silicon Valley is AI. And that's what we need to be focusing on. AI is trying to take over every industry. It's getting to be to the point where I'm a little bit worried. I really, I had this.
Listen, you guys read the Bible at all? Have you read Revelations where it talks about he gave power to the beast?
Whatever, get that shit off the fucking platform.
Have you read that?
I don't
think
think
they're talking.
I'm
Think they're talking about AI and
Right,
being
I'm
a
talking
robot.
about real-time AI.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Something to be concerned about. Your fucking Bible shit doesn't matter to me right now. I don't mean to be rude, but what we need to be thinking about is AI. It's really turning into a tsunami, okay? And that's all I'm going to say. I'll leave it to our host. Done.
So, David, what were you saying?
Well, the Bible, I was listening the other day, a guy talking about, Revelations, I forget what chapter, and how it was talking about how they gave power to the beast, the image, the statue, called it a statue. He gave power to it to speak, the false prophet did. And it told many lies, and it caused everyone to receive a mark, so no one could buy or sell except he who has the mark. But that's talking about a statue that was given the ability to speak like a man. But back then, the statue, could that be a robot? Right now they're getting ready to they're putting AI in Barbie dolls now. The new Barbie dolls coming out, they've going to have AI in them so they talk to kids. Elon Musk's got this Genesis robot, or what is it, Optimus. This thing is impressive. It'll mow your lawn, fold your clothes, clean your house, do your taxes, do everything. and it updates everything it learns. Every other robot learns the same way. I mean, I think we're in a biblical time.
Well, I
The
mean,
Bible's talking about a long time.
yeah.
Right.
These things have already ruined relationships. Am I wrong? These things are, I mean, go to a restaurant, look at young people dating. They're not talking to each other, right? They're not like being romantic with each other or getting to know one another. They're both just sitting down staring at their phones and they're right next to each other in a restaurant, right? Go to a playground tomorrow morning, you guys. Go to a playground and tell me what you see. Tell me if you see parents playing with their kids or if you see them on their phones and their kids are being unattended. It's sad, man. Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Was
Hey, hey,
third Apple, and
broker's here.
he's talking about this threat. That's what he says. I mean, this is a guy who is the co-founder. He went to the same high school as I did. He's the co-founder of Apple, and he's afraid of the future. I mean, he took a pay cut, right?
Well, the
Where'd he go?
ChatGPT has built a bunker for all the scientists to go into because he says it's going to cause the
Hey,
apocalypse.
bunkers have air vents. Just bunkers have air vents. You can't hide anywhere, bro. You can't. If you're human and you need oxygen, you can't. There's nowhere to hide. Maybe in the ocean.
You have a pulse.
Right.
You will be detected. Yeah. Now, these are the bigger questions that we need to talk about. I mean, we're talking about trucking. But I live in, northern San Francisco, then up to Sonoma County. And I go to San Francisco, and we have Waymo driving through the city. And I don't want the 80,000-pound truck rolling down, the I-10 to Arizona without a driver in there. I don't want that.
Right.
These billionaires are basically determining our future. And that's what I'm talking about.
Can I say something to you, Carmen?
On the billionaires, the oligarchs, to say, you don't get to do this. And Larry Ellison owns an island off of Lanai in Maui for a reason, because he's going to be ill. Because he's trying to tell everybody that they need to be censored. They need to be having their eyes scanned. No, absolutely not. I'm from Cupertino, born in 1967 in Palo Alto. And this is a problem, right? You guys are talking about little shit. I'm talking about get the fucking program, get with the program. Understand that we are being mind controlled by these billionaire pieces of shit. And this is going to be a big problem. They're already getting their islands. I mean, look at Bezos. He's in West Maui, right? You got Zuckerberg in fucking Hawaii. They're going there because it's the largest distance between the mainland and everything. Yeah, okay. I will shut up, but I know what's going on.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, George.
So to your comment, so I've been to Orlando, Broker Carrier Summit. The whole summit was built to benefit the brokers. Brokers know where the truck is through the tracking apps, the cell phone, the Verizon. They know where we at. Let's say the truck is Bernardino, California, and there's like 250 trucks in Bernardino, California. 200 loads out of the Bernardino, California. So they're gonna try to find a cheaper truck. They're not gonna care about who he is, what's going on, if he's legal, illegal. Nobody's gonna care about it.
Yeah, I know. Everybody just cares about money. That's the problem. There's no values in anything.
They're gonna book that load with a cheaper carrier. And the answer to this, I asked the broker, so why you always gonna pick the cheaper one? They're like, no, we're not gonna pick the cheaper one, but pretty close to cheap. So
We need to be paying attention to the future. There's no future in trucking. There's no future. Just like you have said, anything that moves atoms, like if you're a plumber, if you're an electrician, if you have to, build a deck, you are safe. If you are, a program engineer, if you are, actually on a team that's working with AI, you're gone. Because singularity is happening. It's called an AI tsunami, and it's going to happen over the next 3 years. Okay? So I'm just putting that out there, and I'm going to shut up and let Audrey speak.
Well, I will say I'm not worried about AI. I'm not worried about Silicon Valley. I'm not worried about any of that stuff until it happens. I've always been that type of person where I'm not going to go down those rabbit holes till it actually happens. I'm going to focus on the things at hand that are a problem now and what can we fix now compared to, those trucks are a long way out, Kate. A long way. I'm not worried about it.
You're sleeping, things change. And that's what's happening. That's
Right.
what happened in Dearborn, Michigan. When you were sleeping, that's when it's changed.
Right.
I'm sure about you. I think you've done a lot of great work. But I think you need to be really because there is a tsunami of AI happening. And if you're over the road, I think that's probably not a great thing. I mean, people are hauling dirt, there's a construction, that's probably less affected by AI. But I think it's really important to start having that conversation and, do some research. That's my only, I'm going to get off. And I want you to think about that. And let Audrey speak. She's really smart. And I would be really interested in what she has to say about it. I'm out.
Alrighty. Thanks, Kate.
I think kind of to bring this all back to kind of the topic we were at, I think George brought up a really interesting point that maybe I think got lost in all this is he was talking about he was at a broker summit. How many truck driver summits are there?
There were not a lot of truck drivers, to be honest with you.
And that's exactly kind of, I assume you were going to say that, and I literally, while Kate was talking, I was Googling truck driver summit. There isn't one. You guys have truck drive, you have truck shows, you have all of these other things. You don't have truck driver summit. So if you took the idea of, hey, I want to form a truck driver summit so we can all come together as drivers and we can talk about our concern about AI and our concern about deregulation and our concern about minimums and all that. That is how you start your movement. That's how you start your association, your union, and all that. Is just get together and talk to other drivers. I think you're going to find that, you're probably all going to have your own little niches that you're really interested in. But George, I really think that kind of subtle hint of, if brokers are having summits or association meetings, wouldn't it be cool to have driver summits and meetings?
Yeah, we probably will in the future, because there were some great people that I've talked to, and they're like, oh, we should have our own summit for the carriers, but in general, it still was a good summit. To be honest with you, I learned something that I never knew about the broker side. And maybe some broker learned it from me. There was I had like 5 or 6 trucks. There was a people with 100 trucks, and how you're gonna combine this into one conversation. That was really interesting. And but what I have learned from the summit, AI is there. AI is gonna stay there. AI is gonna take over it, and either I'm gonna work with it, or I'm gonna be out. That's
Wait, what are you saying again, George? That you're leaving trucking?
No, I'm not leaving. I have to adapt to the AI, movement with the brokers. Because brokers, they through the AI, they got so many tools to vet us, to block the calls. Nobody can hear you.
Freight guard. Yeah, like freight guard.
Not a freight guard, but let's say Wirebee. You guys Google it. If somebody's gonna try to call broker and then they not legit or they like fake or fraud,
Yeah.
they not even gonna, the call is not gonna get through because they're gonna block it. So Wirebee is a they're a really good company. I just find out about it at the summit. But
Well,
there's
you
so
know,
many AI features that it's hard to fight. It's hard to fight.
it
AI
is.
gonna-
You know, 3, 4 years ago, I could negotiate a price for the load. I could try to add loading or unloading or tolls or extra fuel charge. Now it's like, it's nothing. You can't negotiate anything. It's take it or don't take it. You know?
You know why you cannot negotiate it?
Huh.
Because they know where you at and they know how many truck is in the area.
That's why I don't like Macro Point. That's why I don't like working Macro Point. I know that.
All the other tools,
Yep.
Verizon and everybody.
You know that's what ELD is for, right? Do you know how much ELD takes away from us every year, an electronic log, compared to having papers?
Highway is not gonna let you set up if you're not gonna have a legal, ELD.
That's what I'm saying, but how many loads do you lose when you're 15 minutes short of getting into Los Angeles or getting out of Los Angeles, and you just need an extra 15 minutes to save you an entire day? That's $1,000. That's $1,000 gone.
Fraser Park, because there's no place to park in LA. So you have to stop in Fraser Park because kayak is already clogged up. I mean, there's no place to park in LA. They have no parking signs in all the business districts. It's absolutely, they want the freight. They want the freight. No parking in LA. And if you go to Ontario, it's 50 miles from Long Beach. Kiss my fucking ass. I'm sorry.
You know, I'm really not worried about it. I know a lot of people are nervous about all these tools. I'm not worried about them.
Don't say that.
You need human,
That's the problem with a lot of truckers.
But AI is doing the research on you. They know where you at. I know you don't care about the app, but the AI, they making the picture. Who's there? How many trucks is there? How many
Living
loads?
to I-5 corridor, and you have to deliver from, say, Tacoma to LA. You have to stop 2 hours short and park in Fraser Park, which is the only place to park, because you can't make it into downtown LA, which is another 90 minutes. Right? They don't offer any parking in LA. In fact, you go to the business parks in Ontario and all the places, near the TA truck stop, there's no parking. And if you do park in Ontario at the TA or the card portal, you have to pay $30. It's a fucking racket. And LA needs to get their shit together. If they want the freight, they need to provide parking. And, if you're going down towards, Long Beach, you go to these business park areas and it says no parking, but the roads are wide. You can actually park there. Why do they say no parking? This is a joke.
we have,
ELDs, you got this guy on freaking TikTok who's like, oh, ELDs, they mean something so that you don't overdrive. Well, the problem is, and listen to me, Audrey, if you're listening, that if you're driving the I-5 corridor from Seattle down to LA, or you're trying to a lot of stress, right? If you try to, you're trying to go against your last minute of your 11 hours, and you're coming to Laramie, Wyoming, and you're going over the hill, and you're just trying to get to the goddamn thing, and they treat you like you're in a goddamn truck accident if you go beyond your ELD time. It's absolutely abhorrent. Do not do that to the trucker. If they can't find parking because the Democrats let all these fucking immigrants in here and there's no place to park, and the Petro RE is charging people, in Tennessee where they're putting all these signs up, no parking, no parking, no parking. You can't do that to a truck driver because it's creating stress, it's causing them to speed, it's causing them to have stress. The ELD is a problem. They need to fix it. If they can't fix the goddamn parking issue, they better fucking fix the ELD.
How about don't fix what's not broken? Just get rid of it altogether,
This is the problem.
Yeah.
And the showers, these fucking immigrants are they're fucking putting their
All right,
goddamn-
Kate. Thanks for coming up, Kate. Have a good night. George, what were you saying? So tell me more about the broker, that broker convention. Did you go to that?
Trust me, guys, that's okay. That's not a problem, and I'm pretty good. And the broker care summit was great. We got some, connections, breaking points. We have discussions, and everything. Like I said, I'm for me being an immigrant, I've been here for 20 years, legal immigrant, U.S. citizen. I don't care. I just love this country, and I'm gonna support this country. To the bones. I've lived here more. I've been here for 20 years. So I've lived in Ukraine for 18 years, and I've been here for 20 years. So I've been living in America for 20 years now.
Nice.
And, I just love this country. I support this country. I am U.S. trucker. I will support, U.S. trucker laws. I'm gonna support you and to the bones. I have no problem with it.
Yeah. You're the type of drivers we need on the road, George. I can tell just by your demeanor what type of driver you are. I can tell just by how you talk.
For 15 years, almost
Yeah.
15 years since I was 27 probably, 28. I started. I got my own company.
Sarah.
I run this, and I do this, and I love this. I love this. My mom once asked me, "Hey, aren't you tired from your job?" And 4 years ago, I remember like this day, I said, "Mom, I don't have a job. I love it. I like it.
There we go.
I love what I do. There was nothing else. And I was holding the steel coil, like 80,000 pound coils, and between Michigan and Ohio. And she's like, "Aren't you tired? You work like 24/7." I love it. I love it to change the coils, to hold them, heavy coils, light coils. It was precious. I love my life. 4 years ago, I couldn't ask for anything better. It was great. It was great.
There we go.
And then it just declined a little bit, but I think we're gonna fix it soon. That's all it is.
I think so too. I think we're getting somewhere now. Sean Duffy alone is doing a lot of work.
Yes.
Look at all the non-domicile CDLs. Look at the applied pressure to California to Gavin Newsom. He's not playing games, is he? And guess how that all started, bro? Us. We did that.
Yes.
Like we
You did.
applied pressure.
I
We-
think you did that.
All of us, bro. There's a lot of us, and it's not just me. But thank you. I appreciate that. But
some of my Ukrainian friends, they're like, they don't know what I'm doing, that I'm talking to you and I do all this, and they're like, oh, what do you think it's gonna do? I said, hey, you guys, hey, it's not, America's gotta get back. Some of them getting mad at me, and some of them like, I knew about they got their CDL like somewhere in a shady school.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
I knew that, but
Now they're in an automatic truck, and they're a truck driver because they got their license in a week, and they're in an automatic Volvo. I'm a truck driver. Yeah.
To be honest with you, it pisses me off. I'm like, I had to earn this for 10 years to get to where I'm at. I drove all the transmission. I still drive at a 13 speed. Can drive automatic anytime, but I remember my way to get to where I'm at right now. It's just
Right.
They got all these people, even from my country. They got all these people, and they just can't get a CDL with 2 months. It's just ridiculous. It's not.
Well, I'll tell you this. Right now, I think it's only going to get. I think they're going to crack down harder. I haven't put out the video yet, though, but I have a video in my draft about how Sean Duffy's leadership already states are just voluntarily. A lot of states are voluntarily starting slowly to get rid of non-domicile CDLs and investigate their CDLs. And you can ask, Audrey probably knows better than anybody. I just learned this through Lee and Lisa like a month ago. The government works super, super slow. And I remember my dad telling me that he served in Vietnam for 3 years. He did one tour, and he told me that. I remember as a kid growing up, him telling me how slow and powerful the government is. And there's a reason they're slow. It's because they're accurate, they're taking notes, they're doing research, they're venting people, they're venting stories. Before they act, they really want to know the action they're going to take before they take it, which is a very mature thing to do. That's why we're so powerful, because we don't just run off emotions. That's how we should act, right? Not run off our emotions. We should really stop and think before we act. Not just do whatever our body tells us, whatever our emotions tell us to do. We shouldn't just act off our emotions, right? We'd be in jail all the time if we did. It's about like driving, right? How many times a day do you want to do something to a four-wheeler, that cuts you off or flips you off, or, you can't act, that way. Let's see. Yeah. So anyways, back to like the AI and all that stuff though. So many people talk about AI and Silicon Valley and the automated trucks and all that. I've just always been a kind of person where, like, yeah, I'll go down rabbit holes and I'll listen to conspiracy theories, and some of them are true, right? Not all conspiracy theories are conspiracy theories. Some of them are true. But we all only have so much power as one individual. So where are you going to spend your time? What are you going to focus your time on? 5 years from now or today? I'm focusing on right now what I can, what I have time on the planet to do, right? And we got to start somewhere. These brokers, we got to start there. Congress and Senate, we got to start there. Connor's Law, we have that to work on. The GOT Act, we have that to work on. We can all call our representatives. We can all get involved. We can do these things. We can learn about deregulation. We can try to form a union or an association. George, how would you say for us to get an association going? How would we do that? Oh, George is gone. Hey, McCone, I thought you were going to sleep. Can everybody hear me or no?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Audrey, what do you think? How would I start an association or a union? Cool. Thank you guys.
I think you've got the momentum. I think this group, I think these lives. I was talking to another creator tonight, and I was saying, we were talking about, it would be cool to get everybody together, and it kind of feeds off of what we were talking about earlier about having a trucker summit and just have people, I don't know if you've ever been to a town hall meeting and everybody just kind of comes up to the mic and they're like, hey, here's my 2 minutes. This is what I'm thinking about. I mean, wouldn't that be cool to do with drivers? Just give every driver that came to that just 2 minutes to talk about their story and just have somebody, write down what it is and really kind of, and then go back and say, okay, this is what we can address. This is what we can't address. This is what we got the bandwidth to do. Because we all only have so many hours in the day, right?
Boom. Yeah.
we all have obligations. We all have jobs. We all have families. We all have, and we only have so many hours. So what are we going to spend our time on, right? And it's like, so what do we want to do with that, right? And so I think one of those things is kind of, figuring out what drivers are really talking about. What are they really super concerned about? And then just move on from there. I think associations, until you get a lot clearer picture of, I think everybody, I've kind of been brand new to this in the last couple months myself. And so, it's like, there's so many content creators out there and so many ideas. It's like, okay, there's a zillion directions you could go, right? I do mean that. There's a lot of stuff out there. Hey, good evening, Ghost Wolf. I saw him on there.
Yep.
So, there's just so many different ways you can do it. So get everybody kind of, and sit down and say, okay, this is what we can do. This is what we can't do. Hey, if you're really concerned about this is your area. Take it and run with it. Hey, I'm working on this. And just get everybody to the table and have those conversations, because that is so important, because I think there's power in voices. There's power in there's power in voices. I've seen it. We've seen it across history. We've seen it. Grassroots is amazing. Grassroots has done some amazing things in our country throughout history.
Yes.
It got us segregation. It got us, it got us equal rights. It got us all sorts of things. It's elected people. It's unelected people. Grassroots is incredibly powerful. And I think people many times get so discouraged because they look at government as this big monster, right? And it's like, it's this big, huge beast that we don't know how to get rid of. And I think that the thing about it is that what we don't understand is the pen is mightier than the sword. We elect these people. We are the people who are putting them in power. If we don't like the monster, change the monster. Like, let's make the monster for what we want, right? Or let's change it for the things that we want to do. And I think that many times people just don't feel like they're heard. And I hear that across I've heard that for 25 years I've been in this industry, is that people just don't feel heard. They don't feel heard by their government. They don't hear heard by their employees. They don't hear heard by their employers. Sometimes the best thing to do is, I always tell people, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason.
There we go.
Use it, right? And so just listen. I think one of the biggest things and it's definitely an out west sort of philosophy is that, what do we have in common? What are our commonalities? What do we have in common? Because I think if you sit down and talk to people and you really get to meet them face to face, we probably got a lot more in common than we have that are different. And especially on platforms like this, there are people all over that are in trucking in various stages. And what I mean by that is they might be new to the business, they might be new to our country, they might be immigrants, they might be whatever that looks like. They might be, I've met some drivers who have been doing this 3rd, 4th, 5th generation drivers in companies. There's just some amazing American stories out there. And I think when we sit down and we really have conversations and we kind of sort through it, we can have those conversations and move forward. So I think for you, Vince, and I think challenge for all these drivers is that I think there's this old stereotype or this old adage that, I hear it all the time, and I've heard it from multiple drivers that I've talked to, or some version of, is that truck drivers can't agree on the price of a free cup of coffee. And I think that's really kind of short-sighted, but I also understand that I think that's true about all industries. I work really predominantly in agriculture and natural resources, and I can tell you right now, all the cattle guys aren't happy right now on all sides of the aisle. So I just think that when we sit down and we have conversations about what we have in common and what we figure out that we're all, many of us and most of us, I think, have a lot more in common than we have that are differences. And so coming together and having those conversations and listening to that I know when George recommended the Trucker Summit, I put in the notes, I would be running from room to room. I would have to buy a new pair of Nikes to like run around and take all these notes because I mean, there's some amazing stories out there.
Right,
And so
right.
those are all the things. And so I just think it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of principle. And sometimes we have to, again, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. And so we have to remember that sometimes.
Okay,
Yep.
can I say something?
Absolutely.
So the next summit is coming in Kansas City. You are very welcome to get join us, and even if I can secure you a spot. But what I want to say something else. So at the summit, me being an immigrant, and there's a company representing 500 trucks being Kyrgyzstan or Uzbekistan, some kind of company. I'm asking them, how you guys managed to get 500 trucks in the last 2 years when there's hundreds of U.S. companies going bankrupt? How is that possible? Is that a cheap labor, or you got high paying freight? What is that? And well, the answer is we're just gonna cut the cost. I'm like, what do you mean cut the cost? Well, did you see the loads on the board? I'm like, yeah. Well, we're gonna hold the cheapest load on the board. That was the answer, and it didn't satisfy me. It didn't satisfy me. It was ridiculous with the company with 500, and then he's like, oh, we are not a cheap carrier. He just starts like bragging, oh, we are not a cheap carrier. Yeah, you are. I didn't say that. That was just and they were one of the sponsors of Bulgaria Summit. And me being with my 5 trucks struggling, and this guy built a 500 empire in the last 5 years, it was just crazy. I couldn't imagine this happening, and that's why I started asking these questions. And the cheap labor. That's the biggest problem in this industry. Me being an immigrant, I'm telling you guys, and for the sake of America, this is the biggest problem in this industry. We cannot have that many drivers. To be honest with you, I had the friend from like 20 years ago who was almost a drug addict, and now he's driving a truck in America. He's driving a truck in America right now. He got his CDL in Chicago or whatever. I don't know where he got his CDL from, but he's driving a truck. He called me. He's like, "Oh, I'm in America now. I'm driving a truck." I didn't have nothing else to. I was shocked, to be honest with you guys, and. That's what's happening, and that's why I support the administration. I support the Sean Duffy. And whatever they're doing, they gotta do it because we're gonna turn to the third world country. My phone's dying. I don't know how long I can still be with you. I'm gonna try to still be with you, but I got 2% of my phone.
Yeah, right on, George. George, I always am very surprised. Like, we get a lot of foreigners that come on here and they say, I came here 20, 30 years ago, and now Donald Trump's administration, ICE is getting rid of all these people. Like, I'm scared for I'm scared for me being sent home. And my first thought is always like, and I feel compassion for all these people. Like, I wish all 8 billion people on the planet Earth could win, right? But that's not reality, right? We're in a reality of a world right now. But my first thought is always, well, how have you been here for 20 or 30 years and you didn't obtain your citizenship? Like, exactly. It's hard for me to comprehend that. Like a CDL, like I didn't go out and buy trucking gloves and a trucking steering wheel, or trucking seats before I went and bought the truck. Like, buy the truck first, then go buy the tools for the truck. Don't buy the trucking tools. Like, I'm not going to buy straps for the flatbed before I buy the flatbed trailer, right? Buy the flatbed trailer first, then buy all the accessories to the flatbed trailer. But so many people do that. They come here and they just think everything is going to be okay. Like, we're not a land of laws. And we are very strict. We are a land of laws. We, the people, have set these rules into place. So you're not going to find, I doubt you're going to find a true patriot, an American citizen that doesn't want the law enforced. Not any good ones anyway. You might get some crazy folk out there that don't even know what the law is, or they've never even voted in their life. They don't even know what Congress or Senate is. You know, they might have a crazy opinion on how everybody should just be given everything, but nothing's free, man. Nothing. Medical's not free, dental's not free, school is not free, life is not free. None of us can just sit around and do anything. When my kids are at home, like my wife calls me daily, and she'll say, like, one of the kids, we homeschool our children, right? And one of the kids won't want to do school, and you know, my wife will call me I'm the principal, right? As I'm driving my truck, I'm Mr. Principal. And so she'll call me and I'll talk to them. I'll be like, we all have a job to do. Yours right now is school, right? You have clothes on your back, you have warm food, you have nice things, you have a bike that you can ride, you know, you have a comfortable bed to sleep in, you have a cell phone. Like, all those things are provided for you, but your part of contribution to this family, to this society right now, is an education at your age. An education, and we have them do a bunch of church activities they have to do, and they have to do a sport. They have to do a sport, they have to do community events, which is church, right? We do different, not advocacy, but what is it called? When you give your time for free, I forget what it's called. Charity, like charity, right? And they have to do school. So none of us can just sit around and do nothing. It's crazy to me when people say school should be free. You know, like they want their school debt paid for free. Like, it's not free. Us taxpayers are paying it. Nothing is free, you guys. We all have to get up and we have to go to work and we have to do something, right? Pancho, welcome in. There were a few other things I had on my mind, but now I've lost them. Pancho, welcome in.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you on every point that you said, 100%. And I'm just, you know, with everything that's going on with CDL, I support you all the way. You know,
Thank you.
I'll be in Washington holding you getting to Trump. I'll be right there. You just call me the day, and I'll be right there.
Right on, man. Thank you. Thank you. I'm confident I'm going to be able to meet him and talk to him. You know, for me, there's nothing about meeting Trump that is exciting to me other than the position he has. Just like Congress and Senate. All of these people are just people. To me, you know, I've danced with celebrities. I've had drinks with celebrities. They're the same like you and me. The only difference is their job is to act on TV. That's it. They're people, though. They get mad, they get angry. Some of them are selfish. Some of them are awesome. Some of them are kind. Some of them are not kind. You know, they're just people, just like us. There's nothing, to me, there's nothing special about anybody. It's just like, what are your actions? That's what like, where I'll pay attention to a person. What good things are you doing? How are you trying to help other people? Or are you just trying to help yourself? You know?
That's it. That's exactly that.
Yeah, quick story real quick, George. Now, I just remembered what I wanted to say to you. In this industry, we have too many drivers. We all know that. There's not a driver shortage. So I don't know if anybody here has heard of a taxi medallion in New York. It's for taxi drivers. It's like a metal, like a belt buckle that cowboys wear. Audrey, you know what those big belt buckles look like in your city. And so they're like medallions, right? They're like the size of a phone, and they're metal and they're thick, and they would put them on their hoods. This was in the 90s. I don't know if they still have them today, but a taxi medallion, it was about $150,000. You had to have a taxi medallion and it had like a number on it, and you had to have one of these to be a taxi driver. They only sold so many. So if you wanted a taxi medallion, you had to wait for somebody to pass away, somebody to get out of the industry. And I'm talking about like Manhattan, right? Like downtown New York. which is great money to be a taxi driver. Well, it used to be before Uber. And so, you know, you had to get it from your dad or your uncle or your aunt, or somebody had to hand it down to you. That number was very, very special. There's the same type of thing. They're called chain monkeys on Donner's Summit. When I lived in Truckee, California, there's only so many chain monkeys. And what these chain monkeys do, they're at the top of Donner's Summit, and they will chain up your vehicle for you for a price. They will also take off your chains on the back end of Soda Springs up on the I-80 in Donner Pass Summit in Truckee, California. They will take on your chains and off your chains for a set amount. It's like 50 or 75 bucks, right? It's like 75 on and like 50 off or 25 off. And only so, you can't just go up there and work. Like, you have to go to the city and you have to buy a permit to be a chain monkey. Same thing. You either have to pass away and then the number goes back to the city, or, you know, you have to inherit it to someone, or you have to give it to someone, or you can sell it and you as the person can buy it from someone. So what I'm getting at here, taxi industry was the same in New York with the taxi medallion. What I'm getting at is maybe we could have that in trucking, right? So let's say there's, I don't know, 1 million shippers. Do we need more than 1.5 million drivers? Do we need more than 1.5 million carriers or a certain amount? We don't. We're just flooding the market with so many damn people. Those of us that are passionate about the industry, love the industry, and we're here no matter what. Like me, look how horrible the times are right now. But I'm here serving the American people because I love this. And this is what I do for a living. It's not about money for me. It's a good living, and that's why I got into it. But I haven't quit just because the industry is bad. So shouldn't that be recognized? Shouldn't that be rewarded? When you love and you're passionate about the industry, shouldn't your passion be rewarded in some way? What if we had a medallion? Where'd you go, George? Or I mean, Audrey, what was his name? It was George. Yeah. I don't know where. There he is. Oh no, that's not him. Anyway, yeah, he is gone. Anyways, I think we should get something like that going where we cap brokers. There's only so many brokers around. They have to get a medallion. There's only so many drivers allowed in the industry, and there's only so many carriers allowed in the industry, and there's only so many DOT numbers in the industry. That would solve the problem. And or we could bring back stick shifts and bring back Thomas guides. Get rid of GPS units altogether. That would solve our problem too. Pancho, I'm sorry, I'll shut up. Welcome in, and go ahead, brother. Go ahead, man. How are you?
Everyone.
Hello.
I just wanted to continue what you were saying right now. The industry is in a constant up and down. There's no way to determine, or there's no magic formula to know and find out how many drivers do we need, how many shippers, how many loads. So I think the correct approach to having somehow profitable for us, because everybody makes money. Shipper makes money, brokers make money, the receiver make money.
Yep, and that's okay.
To run at a loss.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's okay when they make money, not just doing all the work, not having it live, and not making any money.
Right.
So I would suggest the correct approach is setting up a minimum mandatory. So when the economy goes low, it's going to be like the resistance lane when you're trying to trade. I started finance, so I'm just going to use an example. It's going to be a resistance lane. And when the market goes down, it's going to be a cushion for us. The minimum mandatory could be, like David wants, $5 a mile, which is, I think is reasonable. Or it could be $4, $3.50, anything that we don't work for under what we should run the truck for. Okay? So this is why trying to limit the amount of drivers or the amount of shippers, it will work because the economy goes up and down on a daily basis. You know, and that shows on the that shows on the stock market every day. One day's up, one day's down, and so on. So it's the same thing in trucking. You know, I came into
hang on, Dave.
Because I wanted to ask Audrey, we have so many movements right now. We have Astra.org, we have Truckers Unite Now, which is for Linz. We have Carriers Unite, we got 371 Compliance, and there's a whole bunch of other ones out there. What will be
if you were a truck driver, Audrey, knowing and having the experience you know with the government, the quickest way for us to accomplish anything, just saying.
Like I was just saying kind of before you jumped on, I think it's everybody needing to get together and build unity and figure out the best way to do it. I mean, there are all things that we want, right? Like we all want, there's all sorts of things we all want, right? But I think at the end of the day, drivers need to come together and figure out what those core issues are that they are the most concerned about and build unity. There is power in numbers, and we've seen that. So I don't have a favorite or a non-favorite issue to debate here. I think all of these guys, whether I necessarily agree with what they're doing, I don't necessarily disagree with anybody. And I've said this on other lives. I said this on other podcasts I've been on. I don't necessarily disagree with anybody, anything that anybody's doing. I come in here as more of the policy person saying, hey, your idea is great, and this is how you tweak it to make it fall within the confines of law. That's kind of my role in all this. Or here, let me teach you how to access your government. That's all I do. But I think the thing is that everybody in the industry needs to come together and figure out what those key issues are. And you guys decide what that looks like. You guys decide what you're most passionate about and then go forward with that. That's not my place to say. But what I can tell you from being somebody who's been on the inside looking out, the most powerful movements are well organized, there's unity, and there's a common goal. That's the most effective.
Boom. Yep.
Right.
Boom.
Hey,
That
Vince,
makes sense.
Can I? So I resent you that email in the correct format.
Okay.
It garbled it all up in one thing, so now it's in a correct format where you can actually read through and see the parallels between what they had then and what we can have now.
Okay.
Because not everything they had then was great. Like the certified lanes and no brokers. Like I said, I think the volume of stuff that moves these days, brokers are probably a necessity. Not so much, being able to take 60%. We got good actors or bad actors.
You want me to read this real quick? It's
It's
only 8 paragraphs. You want me to read it? Do you want me to read this real quick? It's only 8 paragraphs.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Purpose. The ICC and Teamsters worked together to stabilize trucking. The ICC set rates and routes so no one could haul for a loss, and the Teamsters enforced fair paying conditions throughout union powers. FFTRA brings the same structure back through legislation using modern oversight and transparency instead of union contracts to stop below cost hauling and exploitation. 2 core principles. Both eras shared the same belief. No load should ever be at a loss. Back then, rates were filed and approved to guarantee carriers made a profit after covering costs. AFFTRA carriers that forward by requiring that every carrier operate above cost and that every driver earns a federal minimum $1 per mile. Power structure is Hoffa's time. Drivers and carriers had the leverage. Today, brokers and mega carriers hold the power instead. AFFTRA shifts it back by enforcing federal transparency laws that limit broker influence, giving the people who move the freight control again. This is good stuff. 4, rule of brokers. Before deregulation, brokers played a minor administrative role. They couldn't undercut published ICC rates under AFFTRA. Brokers are capped at 3% commission and must disclose all rate details under 49 CFR 371.3, no hidden margins, no rate skimming. 5, workers' representation. The Teamsters unified millions of drivers under Hoffa. AFFTRA unites drivers and carriers throughout law instead of the union, keeping everyone legally independent but united under a common set of federal standards. 6, government oversight. The ICC used to enforce structures and predictability. AFFTRA does the same thing, but through digital reporting and DOT oversight, so rates and records and transparency is in real time. 7, economic results. Before 1980, truckers made solid livings, careers stayed profitability, that's what I talk about all the time, yes, and turnover was low, very true. After deregulation, pay collapsed and chaos took over. AFFTRA rebuilds the lost stability and restores trucking as a middle-class career. 8, collapse point. This is it. Oh, that's not it. The 1980 Motor Carrier Act is what destroyed the system. Deregulation split the industry and allowed corporate capture by brokers. AFFTRA is the lawful modern fix to that mistake. Summary: AFFTRA isn't reinventing the wheel, it's restoring the once worked. The ICC and Teamsters brought structure, stability, and fairness to trucking. AFFTRA modernizes the foundation with technology, transparency, and enforceable federal standards. Why didn't you send this to me like 2 months ago, bro? I'll read this like every 10 minutes on my lives from now on. Dude, mic drop. If
I've been telling you all the time.
Dude, bro. Everybody's looking at me now in the restaurant. That's amazing. Yeah, Audrey, do you see a problem with this or no? That's pretty good. I like it.
I feel bad because I feel like I've been influencing David a little too much. Like, I
love it.
And realize something. You know, there was still corruption in the old system. So, you know, if somebody had a load and they gave it to the guy that owned the truck back before they dropped everything, you know, that guy that gave the load to the owner or to the trucker could demand a kickback. So it wasn't as clean cut as what you think it was. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but it was 90% better than it is now, right, Phantom? It was 90% better then than it is now, correct? Maybe not perfect, but way better.
You know, it wasn't perfect. It was better. And there's always bad actors, no matter
Sure.
how you structure something. There's always a possibility of being a bad actor.
The way I see it is deregulation happened. This was a trial error because they was like, oh, this will be better for everybody. It wasn't. It's better for the corporations. It ruined hundreds of people's lives, hundreds of thousands of people's lives.
Millions, bro.
Just have the American dream. Now that we can see the comparison between the two, we can say, hey, this didn't work, and we have what's called, if I remember right, Audrey, precedents. We can go back and say, this was working. This was keeping everything honest, and nobody, let's be honest, running at a loss when these guys are like, oh, yeah, it's trucking. Doesn't have to be.
And I don't think there was no OTR with deregulate or before deregulation, right? Phantom, didn't guys get home like 2-3 days? It wasn't like 2 months at a time, right?
It was more, and it's Fat Dog, and it's more. And
Oh, Fat Dog, sorry.
Yeah, and it was more regional over the road back then than what it is now on the over the road side, and we've got both nowadays. And I think really and truly the industry has evolved, but and this is a little tongue in cheek for you here.
That's fine.
How do you get two drivers to agree on the price of a free cup of coffee?
I'll tell you what, you know what? I think that's where I come in.
Mandatory minimum rates in place that everybody has to follow, and then nobody's got to argue about nothing. We set a standard industry-wide. Read it again, Vince. Read it again, bro.
No, I get that.
What's your email, Fat Dog?
What I'm getting at is that somebody's got to pay the $5 a mile, right?
It's already there. I'm calling for $4.50 right now.
Yeah.
We're talking about fixing the spot market. Everybody, just because people are hauling direct freight, I hear this all the time. Well, they're stupid for taking it and everything. No, that is the most unethical way to run any kind of business or allow anybody to run a business that we've got so far away from humanity that, if there's somebody's going to take it, who cares?
Don't forget,
It's all
David.
illegals anyway.
He's
Who
naive.
cares?
He signed the contract because he only has a high school diploma. He signed the contract, so let's ruin his life for 50 years and his family's because he didn't know what he was signing.
Can I say something, guys?
Yeah.
Not even a school diploma. He just could be an immigrant.
Yeah.
That's the problem. All these immigrants, they cut my rates. I have this rates from Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. I've been working with people for 12, 10 years. And all of a sudden, they just gonna let this freight go with somebody cheaper than me. Well, okay.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna be the cheapest one, but
See, if we set a mandatory rate, that goes across for everybody. That means doesn't matter what country you're from. If you're here driving if you're legal, if you're illegal, it doesn't matter. That's the rate. So then it falls back on the shipper. It comes to all of a sudden there's a whole shift of the system. Do I want to put my freight on a truck for $5 a mile for guys that have their numbers taped to the side of their truck and I can't understand them? Or do I want to find a carrier that I know, that's local, that's got 50 or 60 trucks that can handle me and I have a relationship with them? That's the kind of thing we need to bring back. Right now there's no incentive for a broker to get a better rate for a carrier because they can take what they want and say, screw you, have a nice day, or I'll hang up on you. But when we change this to where a broker has a cap or even transparency, all of a sudden, for the broker to make the money he's making, he's got to pull a better rate from the shipper.
Brokers should make money. They just shouldn't make all of it or a bigger amount than us. Yeah.
They'll make a fortune at a 3% cap rate. A broker, 10 brokers would bring in 30 grand a day. Easy. If you can't make it on 30 grand a day between 10 people, and that's good money for you, I don't know what to say.
Comment, guys.
I don't know.
One comment. Can I?
Go ahead, George. Floor is yours.
I've talked to some brokers. I've talked to some brokers. There's a great people. There's a great people in brokerage.
Sure.
There's some awesome people to be honest with you. And you know, and they just saying straight out, hey, there's a cheaper option. Okay, they're gonna try to vet them and everything. They are not fraud and everything. But as long as there is a cheaper option, you know, everybody's gonna be looking for cheaper option, right? And so yeah, maybe, you know, start thinking you may be right, like, because you know, after. I don't know what's going on, but after all this, you may be right. You may
George, the problem is the way the system is set up. This broker has the incentive to post a load and wait 2, 3, 4 days to try to get the cheapest carrier possible. Because their greed is what moves them. It's not their professionalism anymore. They're only moved by greed, pure greed, and that's what they only care about is. The only thing they care about is their bottom line. And this is why the system is so hard for us, for small carriers to make a living. Especially when the economy is on the down low. You know, that's when they decide to take $200, $300, $400 out of the 7-day average rate on one shot in a single day. Lowering rates even more and more and more. Because once you start selling loads for, I was talking to someone today, telling them exactly they're not brokers, they're auctioneers. So
this guy in the comments, this guy says, Poncho, you're a great negotiator.
Yeah.
He doesn't know me.
It's not
he doesn't know me.
You're flooded with cheap labor.
There's no leverage. There's no leverage when it comes to these people, because there's nothing you can tell these people. There's nothing you can tell these people. When they don't want to give it to you, they won't give it to you. And this is why I'm saying having transparency like they used to be back in the days. Because when I started driving, I would see a rate confirmation, and the upper right side of the paperwork will say broker is charging this much, carrier gets this much, and whatever the shipper pay, whatever. All the numbers were there. Have I?
Yeah, that's I have never seen this. I'm just
George, when I started driving back in 2001, 2002, yeah, I mean, we get the paperwork, the load confirmation, and you used to get it out of the Fox, and the rates were right there. I was an owner-operator back. I was a company guy back then, but I used to work for a percentage. and I would see when the load paid and everything.
And
Wow.
also, if you
They saw
remember
used
right,
to
if
be-
you got it on that old heat fax paper, you laid it in the dash of your truck, it turned dark as Toby's ass. You couldn't read it. You had to ask for another fax.
What was that again?
I said, if you remember right, with that old fax paper, if you set it on the seat or on the dashboard, and the heat got to it, it turned that paper dark as Toby's ass, and you couldn't read the confirm anymore. But I know the confirms that you're talking about because on the right-hand side, it laid it out what it paid everybody, and it worked out perfect. And then they got away from that, and the greed started.
Of course. That's exactly how it used to work back in the days. Well, you know, the first thing, they first started whiting it out. That's the first thing that happened. And then we'll be looking at a counter light, trying to see what the loan was paying, to see if we were getting cheated on. So there used to be transparency, and it was respected. That rule was respected back then, until this broker's greed
But
just
how many-
took over. Go ahead.
How many of you guys on the panel have pulled into a place, and I haul commodities, okay? So I go to haul barley or seed, corn, or something like that, and the rancher or the farmer says, yeah, you're making pretty good on this. And I say, yeah, it's okay, you know, it's $4 a mile or whatever it is. And he's sitting there and he tells me he's paying $7.50, right? So they're taking $3.50 off the top just to broker the load. But how many of us have ever pulled into a place, and I've done it quite a bit, and you know, the small company loading you, somebody comes out and says, hey, you're making pretty good on this load, and then you get to talking about it, and you find out that the guy paying the freight, the shipper, is getting screwed, you know, and the guy that owns the truck and the trailer is getting screwed too. So at the end of the day, you know, I guess my question is, how many of us have been in that situation? I know I've been in it way too many.
All of us. That's why we need transparency and full.
I took a load.
100%.
I took a load last year around October because it was a load of pumpkins. I had 17 stops. I charged $2,400 for like, it was about 200 miles because we're from Greencastle, PA, coming back to Jersey. I had 16 Walmarts. It was supposed to be a 3-day load. I did it on the same night because I know one trick or two. And when I went to the shipper, which is actually the farmer, he asked how much was I getting paid for it. And I told the guy I probably shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna show you. And I just went, got my phone, pulled the Raycon, showed the guy. The guy looked through my Raycon and says, would you want to work for me direct next year? I said, here's my number, call me if you want me. And because he asked me if I wasn't for the motor carrier, and I told him I was a owner operator. So the guy says, oh, I'll work for you, work for me next year, direct freight. And I said, hey, I'll work with you. I don't have a problem. And I guess he never told the broker, because the broker was happy. He was happy as well, because he heard that I delivered 16 stores at the same day. So, yeah, I've been in that situation many times, and this is how I got actually direct freight from many customers. You know, they like the way I drive. Exactly. But there's something about trucking that nothing lasts forever. I don't know your experience with mine. I can have a direct customer. It might last me 6 months, and then...
How long have you been trucking, Pancho? How long have you been trucking?
Me?
Yeah.
25 years, unfortunately. 25 years.
Okay, so do you think drivers were saying that in the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s? Were they saying that it doesn't last forever, or were they just focused on where they were going to go for vacation, how they were going to pay their house off in 10 years? You know what I mean? They weren't talking like that, bro.
I'll tell you what, in 1978, when they did the strikes, if you drove your truck while it was on strike, you'd get a bullet in your radiator.
There you
They
go.
shut it down. They shut it down. My buddy,
If you move your truck,
he hauled a load of watermelon.
All right, hold
for a
up.
Christmas tree.
Fat Dog was saying something. Hold on, you guys interrupted Fat Dog. Go ahead.
You know, I don't think none of us want to be unionized. If that's the way you guys want to go, that's fine, I guess. But I still say that I still say you got a good idea here. Setting a flat rate, setting the brokers where they need to be, being fair to the guy that owns the truck. I mean, look, truck prices are over $200, almost $300,000 now for a new truck. So I can't afford a new truck.
There's a minimum wage for an 18-year-old kid at McDonald's. My 14-year-old son made $25 an hour today at the next door neighbor house, just moving boxes around in the garage. But a lot of truck drivers out there are making $16, $17 an hour. Make driving American freight, being the tip of the spear in this country. Nah, bullshit.
If you're on the road, you're going 168 hours a week. That's like $7 an hour.
There you go.
You know what I mean? I got to sit here and watch this truck. Somebody backs into it in the middle of the night. I got to hop out.
And let me ask you this. How many people are willing to leave their families, leave their spouse, and risk their life, and it be more dangerous than a police officer? Truckers are 7 times more to not make it home than a police officer. There's a reason I keep bringing that up. Our average lifespan is 62 years old. So we need to be getting on vacations, because we're not going to be able to enjoy being on the planet very long, you guys. 62 is the average age for a truck driver because of the stress, the anxiety, almost being unalived 6 or 7 times a day. Hell, I was in Seattle today. I only drove 54 miles today, and I was almost unalived 3 times in downtown Seattle on a Saturday, right? Driving my 75-foot vehicle around. So what does that say? You know what I mean? So that's why we need to make bigger bucks.
This is why I said before in this life, we have to take what was good about before the deregulation and what is the best about the deregulation moving forward this way. What was good about the deregulation is we had AFFDRA.org. There you go.
That's it.
Anyway, so if you have a minimal, right? Well, how do we get it passed?
For all everybody else that's new in here, let's recap.
Okay, you want to recap? Let's recap.
Vince, if we make a minimum mandatory $5 a mile,
okay,
the economy goes flood on us.
Bro, the economy's not going to be flooded. The economy's not going to... Go ahead.
Hey man, you hear me?
I'm saying,
hang on, Iraq.
even if the economy goes bad, we don't need to work so hard. We just take a couple of loads in a week. Make $6,000, go home to our family.
I see what you're saying. Yes. Yes.
Right. We don't need to be slaves, because the way they have it set up for us is we make so little money. We make so little bit of money that we have to be behind the wheel. We have to be grinding it 24/7.
That's right.
Just to make it by.
That's right. That's the problem.
If we said, and this is the part that was good about before the deregulation.
Yes.
If we get paid a decent rate, and not everybody's gonna be money hungry anymore. A lot of us is gonna slow down. They're gonna go out 2, 3, 4 days in a week, come back to the families, maybe go to work 2 weeks and then come back for another 2 weeks. So capacity is gonna reduce, which is gonna keep the rates good for all of us.
That's right.
And these brokers, they have their associations and they have their lobbies and all their whatever networking they have in the Congress and so on and on and on. I'm not gonna go down.
Real quick, guys, hang on. Listen.
They have it all.
Let him recap this email.
Okay, I'm gonna recap, guys. Hang on, but DA compliance says. Go ahead, finish. Go ahead and finish up.
No, I was saying that these brokers have it all figured out just to keep us working those, so they can make the most money while we struggle the most.
Exactly.
That's what I wanted to end it.
Exactly. Okay. DA compliance says my cousin in Miami risked his life as a cop as well for $32 $32 an hour. Yet LeBron makes $69 million for 2 years. So DA compliance, the reason that sports people make millions of dollars for throwing balls around is to waste your time so that you don't educate yourself and start a business for yourself and better your family. They want you to work. They just want you to go to their school and do a job when you grow up, and don't critically think. Just do what they, make them richer. So that's why LeBron makes 69 million a year. And you just kind of proved my point at saying that your cousin makes $32 as a police officer. My job, bro, is 7 times more dangerous than your cousin. I have a 7 times more chance of not making it home to my family than your cousin is. Yet most truck drivers are making, $15 an hour. So you just proved my point.
There's 25 companies in Chicago, 500 trucks, and have drivers just driving for peanuts.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Real quick, let's let Iraq say some stuff. He's been waiting patiently, and then I'm going to recap. David, I hope you didn't leave. Oh, David, you are still here. So, yeah, go ahead, Iraq. How are you, man? Thanks for being patient, brother. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. I just want to talk about something. I just want to say the big corporations, companies, they're not going to allow any middle class to be rich anymore. They want all the money for themselves. They want to make us slaves. We pay more taxes. And also, they're raiding AI right now.
Yes, sir.
So they want to get rid of us.
Yep, that's why we have to get
So it's
involved and
very
stop
hard,
them.
man.
We have to
They
stop
want us
them.
To be divided. Here's the thing. We
You
hold
can't
the
stop
power.
it.
If we
You
come
can stop
together,
it.
We can make change.
Believe me, that they don't care. Just
Bro,
to them,
who are they? They're not even
us to
1% of the
them. Just the
population.
numbers. We're just the numbers to them.
And we're the bigger number. Don't ever
We can't
forget
change
that.
anything.
That is so not true, and that is so sad that you believe that. And this is where I'm going to step in. They being the government, we elect the government. This is not this big imaginary monster that people think it is. You have the power in the pen to change who is in that government. You and you alone. If you don't like who your mayor is, vote him out. You don't like who your congressman or woman is, vote him out. You don't like who the president is, vote him out. We live in a country that allows us to do that. This is not a monarchy. This is not a dictatorship. This is not a whatever. We live in a democratic republic that allows you to vote out the people you don't like. And it makes me incredibly sad. And this is why I do what I do for Vince and David, is people like Iraq who are saying, we can't do anything. Yes, you can. And I wish, and I hope, and I pray, and this is why I do what I do, is there is hope. Don't feel that you're hopeless. Surround yourself by people who can help you gain the knowledge and the power to be able to empower yourself to make that difference. It is a horrible place to be. I've been exactly where you are. I have been told, we can't change it because you're just some nobody from the middle of nowhere and you can't change it. And I will tell you right now, I have stood in the halls of Congress. I have testified before Congress. I have met sitting presidents. I have met congressmen and all that. And the fact of the matter is that yes, you can do it. Is some of the things that you are saying accurate? Yes. Is the government slow to change? Absolutely. And Vince touched on this a while earlier. Government moves at the speed of molasses in January in Nome, Alaska. That is my favorite line, and I will use it for forever. But we can change it, and coming together, it doesn't matter if it's trucking or saving Mrs. Nelson's tree in your front yard or preserving the most important thing to you. We can change it, but you have to want to change it. And that means educating yourself on the process, surrounding yourself with people who have similar interests and similar goals, and not giving up hope. And so I'll get off my soapbox now, Vince.
No, that was awesome, man. She's smoking. Do you see the box down there? Like smoke coming off the box. Holy smokes. And Iraq, we're saying this with all the love in the world, brother. We're not disrespecting you or insulting you at all. It's just that we've all been brainwashed, bro. I was there 2 months ago. I was like you, like, what can just little old me do? And I'm realizing, like, I'm being myself and educating myself. Like, just I'm asking questions now instead of like being afraid that I'm stupid and I don't want to ask any questions because I want to be so smart. Instead of that type of mentality, I'm asking people, and I'm realizing people enjoy it when you ask questions. People enjoy giving their knowledge to you. It's when you try to act smart and you're not smart and you're not asking the questions and you're pretending like you know everything and you're sounding like a buffoon. That's when people are like, man, not cool. But bro, we the people run this country, not the government. Government does not run this country. They're not bigger or badder than us. Guess who's the government? You and I, brother. There's no such thing as government funded. That's your F-16 up in the sky. Go ahead. Sorry.
I agree with you that the people had the power to change anything, but the reality is the one who got the power who makes the rules for us. Right?
So we changed the rules. Congress, Senate, a bill. We create a bill, we get the bill passed with support.
Conversations.
It's easy.
We talk. That's what we're doing right now. You have to talk to people. You know, first time in my life I've been through this broken period summit, and that's about talking, but you have to talk to people. You have to show yourself. You have to, tell them your problem, what's going on, and that's what we gotta do. Not just blindly close our eyes and like, okay, they just make the rules and follow them. No, you still have the power. You and me being as an immigrant, legal immigrant. Oh my God, I have to say this all the time. I will say this. I am a legal immigrant in the United States, now a U.S. citizen. So I'm gonna try to.
Let's not forget about the mass awareness that's been brought. The last 4 months, we've just started getting actual complaints in the FMCSA about transparency. We've been complaining at the diners and to all over the country and bitching about everything until we started talking about this on these platforms and blowing it up and screaming.
Yes, you're
Nobody
right.
was even entering any
You're
complaints
right.
to the right channels. Now we got it going on.
Hey, Iraqi. I want to tell Iraqi something. So 3 months ago, Sean Duffy, the Secretary of Department of Transportation, all the forms of Department of Transportations that Sean Duffy runs under Donald Trump, 3 months ago, he didn't know about all these unalivings with foreigners that are getting these non-domicile CDLs. He didn't know any of that because of truck drivers, bro. Because of like 10 truck drivers standing up and getting on these lives and talking about our citizens being unalived by these men and women, talking about like, dude, we need help. Hey, government, this is what you need to do. Work for us now. Because of us standing up and creating a ripple effect, bro, Sean Duffy just got rid of 194,000 CDLs, and it looks like about 600,000 are going to be going bye-bye within the next like 3 to 4 months. That's going to be like 15%. So that goes to show the power.
You guys notice the parking is getting better?
Yes,
already?
I don't have a problem parking anywhere.
Totally getting better.
Loads are coming back a little bit. I'm noting.
I'm driving. My call now. You driving? Are you still driving it?
I used to be owner operator, but not anymore. I drive a little bit.
Can I ask why? Iraq,
I
is it because of the everything going on that you're not an owner operator?
Yeah, it's very hard for me, man. Economy, it's really bad, and it's a lot of challenging. You know what I mean. Also, I'm upset because I voted for Trump. He said he gonna change a lot of things, so I don't see any changes. I see the worst. I was trying to get married. I see it's very hard for me right now to financially afford that. You know, it's a lot of things going on. It's really bad.
Well, I can tell you this, Iraqi. 2 months ago, I was go look at my pinned videos. When you get off here, go look at my 3 pinned videos and listen to the sound in my voice. I was a desperate man. I didn't know what to do. I was so fed up working paycheck to paycheck. I was like, screw it. I'm going to go to the White House and I'm going to talk to Donald Trump because why work? Every morning I wake up and I get my keys, every morning I wake up and I look at my keys And I'm just like, there it is, right? Freightliner. Okay. Every morning I wake up and I'm just like, why even start the truck? Like, why? Why start the truck and work my ass off for 14 hours when I don't have a good life? I'm barely getting by. I'm eating beans and rice. What's the point in working my ass off and being a decent person and following the law and being a good man and sacrificing and leaving my beautiful family? For what? To make somebody else rich? So you know what I did, Iraqi? I went to the White House and I tried. And I was unsuccessful. But you know what happened? An explosion of people. Wait a minute. Well, I wasn't successful at seeing Trump. But you know what I was successful at? Iraqi, 2 months ago, I didn't know that we have 100 senators. I didn't know that there's 2 senators per state and your congressman is based off the population of your state. I couldn't have said that 2 months ago. I would have pretended like I was smart and I knew what I was talking about, but you would have seen right through me. Now I'm authentic and I ask questions. If I don't know something, I ask questions. And if I don't know it and someone else is spitting it, then I shut up and I listen. So that's how we fix this, Iraqi. We have the power to do it. We're 99%. The government, law enforcement, and the military is 1% of 350 million Americans. Now, I'm not saying do anything crazy or violent or something like that. We don't have to get violent. It's like Audrey says, the flick of a pen is 1,000 times more powerful than a firearm. Forget the firearms. Forget the pew-pews. Don't worry about those things, man. This is what's powerful, not this. This isn't powerful. This is powerful. Man, we can do it. David, should I cook on the AFFTRA? Is it time?
Hey, let her fly, bro.
All right, guys. Hang on one sec, okay?
Gusto.
Okay. All right, this is an 8-part service coming at you live from the IHOP in Seattle, Washington. Truckers Unite Now, and McCone is going to give you the 8-part series of the AFFTRA. Number 1, purpose. The ICC and Teamsters worked together to stabilize trucking. The ICC set rates and routes so no one could haul for less, and the Teamsters enforced fair pay and conditions throughout union power. AFFTRA brings the same structure back through legislation using modern oversight and transparency instead of a union contracts to stop below-cost hauling and exploitation. 2, core principles. Both eras shared the same belief. No load should ever move at a loss. Duh. Back then, rates were filed and approved to guarantee carriers that they made a profit after covering costs. AFFTRA carriers that forwarded by requiring that every carrier operate above cost and that every driver earns a federal minimum and $1 per mile. 3, power structure. In Jimmy Hoffa's time, drivers and carriers had the leverage. One strike could stop the entire system. One strike. Today, brokers and mega carriers hold the power instead. AFFTRA shifts the power by enforcing federal transparency laws and limiting broker influence, giving the people who move the freight control again. That's us. 4, role of brokers. Before deregulation, brokers played a minor administrative role. They could undercut published ICC rates. Under AFFTRA, brokers are capped at 3% commission, and most disclosed all rates detailed under 49 CFR 371.3, no hidden margins, no rate skimming, just true transparency. 5, workers' representation. The Teamsters unified millions of drivers under Jimmy Hoffa. AFFTRA unites drivers and carriers throughout law instead of a union, keeping everyone legally independent but united under a common set of federal standards. 6, government oversight. The ICC used to enforce structures and predictability. AFFTRA does the same thing, but through digital reporting and DOT oversight. So rates and records and transparency is in real time. 7, economic results. Before 1980, truckers made solid livings, carriers stayed profitable, and turnovers were very, very low. After deregulation, pay collapsed and chaos took over, like what Iraq was talking about. AFFTRA rebuilds the lost stability and restores trucking as a middle-class career. Once again, American middle class, right? That's what we want here. 8, collapse point. The 1980 Motor Carrier Act is what destroyed the system. Deregulation split the industry and allowed corporate capture by brokers. AFF-TRA is a lawful modern fix to that mistake. The summary is AFF-TRA isn't reinventing the wheel, it's restoring the once worked wheel. The ICC and Teamsters brought structure, stability, and fairness to trucking. AFF-TRA modernizes the foundation with technology, transparency, and enforceable federal standards. That's it. Man, I get giggly inside reading that, bro. Like, I'm gonna start doing this every live. And when I go to the White House, every 10 minutes I'm gonna be reading it. This is great.
And I got a question for you.
Sure.
So, my question is just about one subject. So, I have a $20,000 Freightliner Columbia.
Okay.
And I also have a $120,000 Volvo.
Okay.
The profit is very different. How are you gonna control that? And this, that's the only and that's the one and only thing I have a question about it. Because with all this technology and new drivers, they all want automatic, and it's almost impossible to find a driver who's gonna drive a 2007 Columbia making gazillions dollars. You have to put them into 2025 truck with a high payment and everything. But so I have both right now. I have 2007 Columbia and 2020 2023 Volvo.
Okay.
And the margins are different on both trucks.
Is the 2007 paid off? The 2007 Columbia is paid off, I'm assuming, and the Volvo is still making payments, right?
That's the 2007
Well,
Columbia paid
okay.
off. I bought this truck 5 years ago. I paid $20,000 for this. This truck was grossing 180, close to $200,000 a year.
Okay.
So I made a good money on this truck. But right now, I cannot find a driver for it.
Man, I don't know what to say on that.
How are we gonna calculate this margin? Not a margin, but yeah.
What are you trying to pay your driver?
70 cents per mile on the dry land and 75.80 on the flatbed.
1099 or W2?
10.89.
There you go. That's your problem, man.
Well, first of all, wait a minute.
1099 and 70 cents. That's like 49 cents a mile after taxes. It's nothing.
Well, I have no chance to pay them more at this point.
First of all, when you're paying off your truck, though, you don't really get to enjoy the profits until you pay that truck off. Am I right? And that's how it's worked for me the last 3 trucks I've had. The first 2 or 3 years are a pain in the what. It's just like your home. Your mortgage is a pain in the butt the first 5-10 years, right? But then it gets cheaper as time and inflation or whatever move on, and then the last 20 years aren't so bad.
I was kind of thought of the old school people, so I have to get my first truck with cash. So that's what
Are you running on the load boards or are you running direct freight?
I have a direct shipper and also load boards because I could not get direct shipper coming back.
Can we ask what you're getting a mile?
You're getting like $5 plus a mile on your direct freight, right?
No, I'm getting the $3.80 $4.
That's not terrible in today's market.
Well,
It's not.
I'm not doing bad, but I could not see the way forward to expand or something. I don't see that. I'm not gonna expand this because what I'm doing, I'm okay right now, but there's nothing else that I can do at this point.
I don't know. Here's a question that I've heard, and I don't know this, but I've heard some guys tell me that 1 truck you can break even, 2 trucks you don't make any money. The 3rd truck is when you start actually making money. I don't know if that's right. Can anybody?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, well, pretty much, but it all depends on how you buy that. finance or you're gonna buy them with cash. That's yeah. For the old
Hey,
saying, that's true.
Iraqi. Thank you.
For the old saying, yeah, if you buy the first truck, you buy the 1 cow, then you buy 2 cows, and then you're gonna buy the 3rd cow. Then that's how you make money. But right now we all have financing, and that's make a difference. I mean, I'm still trying to do this old school, and yeah, I have 5 trucks. I've been into this for 10 years. Holland Steel, Michigan, Ohio, Indiana. I can do, whatever, 80,000 pound coils, 90,000 pound coil. I can do everything.
Well, listen, I gotta get to bed, guys. I want to add one thing. If you haven't signed the petition yet, which it doesn't mean anything other than you're getting behind something that we all want to get behind. There's a Telegram group. Vince, myself, the Pontificator, this guy I met tonight. There's a ton of us in there. We use this as a platform we can have 200,000 members.
Hey, I was actually thinking about this. Trust me. I know you guys. I know everything about you. But let me bring this to you. So, this $4 per mile or whatever, $5 per mile. Let's say I'm just gonna say I'm just gonna talk about my region: Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan. So
here's George. I'm gonna interrupt you. I gotta go to bed, but here's the thing. Right now, we've been brainwashed to think that there's certain regions that should pay certain prices because it's a backhaul and all this. And I'm just gonna be. No, listen. I think every truck should run at a profit. It should be a load-by-load basis. If you need shingles hauled out of Denver, those shingles are important to whoever.
I agree.
Put on wherever.
I agree.
just
I agree.
For 1 minute, just for 1 minute, just listen to me for 1 minute, please. Just for 1 minute, and then you're gonna go to bed, okay?
All right.
Yeah.
I've been hauling steel. I've been hauling steel for 10 years. Right now, it's 10 years. So listen to me. There is a company who controls the Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. PGT, PII. Dude, they control. They know everything. If I'm gonna go from let's say I'm gonna go Cleveland, Ohio to Detroit, Michigan. All of a sudden, from Detroit, Michigan, same company gonna be able to find a load for me. You know what I'm saying? I work with like 5 or maybe 7 brokers. They control all this region. They don't care what the rate. They know what they do. That there is a certain rate. They know what they do. They know what they gotta do. And there is no way you're gonna go from Ohio to let's say Gary, Indiana for 1,000 and coming back for whatever $2,000. No, this is not gonna happen. They control this. All this is controlled by these companies. There's 10
What's going to
companies.
change that is when we unite and we say we're not hauling for less than $4 a mile or $5, whatever it decides. I can't put a number on it. I'm not the guy to do that. But when we unite and work as one industry, this is when the whole gets cracked up. We don't got to wait on the government. We don't got to wait on anybody. We just got to come together as an industry, stand shoulder to shoulder and say, listen, I don't care if you're a flatbedder or a dry bedder or a RGN or whatever. Our mandatory minimum rate to run a truck down the road is this. And if you can't pay it to move your stuff ain't going to move. Doesn't matter where it's at. That's what we got to stand. We got to get over this complex where they keep saying, oh, but you don't understand. The brokers are telling us we don't understand because God, they're praying that we don't understand. They're praying to God that we don't figure out that we got a voice. And if we move together, then we run this whole country.
One thing I want to say, I just told you my story, and to be honest with you, working with these companies, I run.
McCone, you better just
right here says
go ahead.
dry vans and flatbeds shouldn't be paid what. That's not what we're saying. We're saying we need a minimum rate set. That's not the minimum rate for everybody. Everybody
Right.
still bids their own rates. you're still going to ask for 5. You're still going to ask for 7 or 9 for whatever your shit is, but we're going to have a floor. That way there's nobody that's going to operate less than it takes to run the truck down the road.
Yeah, Sarah, Specialized will still get, you know, $15 a mile, you know, because they have to.
$50.
15.
Some Specialized loads are getting $50
15.
a mile.
Oh, dang. Wow.
Oh, dude, there are some loads that are moving. I mean, it's you know, windmill blades.
I wish I could talk about what I'm making right now. I can't. I was actually, the company that I'm leased to called me 2 days ago. The CEO, 2 down from the CEO called me and said, yeah, you're getting a little up there on social media. You better not talk about rates or have our emblem in your videos. I'm like, I know.
Oh, wow.
You didn't even have to tell me that. I already knew. But that's fair. It's their company. You know what I mean? So I don't need to have their trailer on the.
Hey, that means you're doing something right, bro. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, what are you going to do, man? All right, are you going to bed, Macomb?
Guys, I gotta go to
Yeah.
bed, man. I appreciate the live
Old
events.
school.
Guys, everybody, thank you. AFFTRA.org. Go check it out.
Yeah.
371compliance.com. Connor's Law. What else is there?
Got
Man, I'm
Act.
forgetting a lot, but anyway, I gotta
Yeah.
go to bed.
All right, brother. Good night.
All right, guys.
Later. Jason K, welcome in, man. How are you? Thanks for your patience. Oh, and then he went. Is it my service or why do people come up and then drop out? That's been happening all night. Dude, I'm on a good Wi-Fi connection, so I don't know why that's happening. But old school, what's up, man? How are you?
Just stop to say hi.
Right on. Hello.
I'm live about the same time you are at night, so I don't get to get in here very often. I listen to your topics. I agree with some and disagree with others. I just,
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
you know.
Yeah. Which is fair. That's fair. I like it when people don't agree with everything I say because that shows me they're a critical thinker. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And it's not necessarily other people's opinion. And then,
Yeah.
all these guys that come in and, you know, whether they're no-ball owner-operators or company drivers that have been out here for 6 weeks or 6 months and they want to make the same money I do after 35 years. And I'm sorry, my skill set, and I still have a lot to learn.
No, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
I justify the fact that I'm getting, my rates are a little better than your rates, you know, and my patience and
Well, your safety, right? Like you're going to get it there in one piece for sure. It might be an hour past the next guy, but you're going to get it there in one piece. You know what I mean?
well, I'm going to try. I'm so far, knock on wood, we've made it every time.
You know, even hazmat right now, most hazmat even, they don't even want to recognize that that's an additional skill set, that's an additional endorsement, and it's an additional risk. Did you know hazmat is 3 times the CSA points? I'm sure you knew that, right? So if let's say I fail to use a control device, like no right turn or something like that, or don't go down this street, right? Let's say it's 3 points against my CDL. If I have hazmat on board, it's now 9 points, not 3. But they want to pay the same as toilet paper.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
No, I
don't
won't
know
do
much
it.
I haven't done hazmat in over 30 years. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I'm tired of it. I do a lot of hazmat. I'm sick of it.
The majority of what I do is I'll just say it's a high value, high commodity field, and
Yep.
I get paid for it. You know,
That's awesome.
Maybe not as much as what I get paid fair.
Good. Good.
Not always the best, but
Yeah.
most of the customers that I haul for, we kind of have an agreement. We have a rate, and you know what? If fuel goes down to $2 a mile this week,
I get the same rate. If it goes up to $7, I get the same rate. And it balances out.
Right. Right.
You know, if it stays at $7 for 8 months, well, yeah, we're gonna have to talk about it. But
Right.
you know, for the most part, for the last 5-6 years, it's just easier for me, you know, and for them, and for the dispatch,
Yes.
you know.
Well, it's interesting to me. Everybody else has gone up with inflation over the last 4 years, except truck drivers don't even ask. If a truck driver asks for more money because of inflation, you know what they'll tell you? You got to know your cost per mile. You don't know your cost per mile. Why would you be asking 30%? Oh, you got to run your business better. You don't know how to run your business. So wait, what are you saying? Because inflation went up, should I get rid of one of my cars? Or should my kids not be in sports anymore because inflation went up? Is that how I run my business? I cut more because everybody else has gone up 30%. Because guess what? Freightliner's gone up. TA repairs have gone up. Parts for trucks have gone up. Fuel hasn't gone up, but insurance has gone up. Tires have gone up. Let's see what else. Fuel treatment's gone up. Chains have gone up. Everything's gone up, bro. Tolls have gone up. How about cat scales, guys? Have you not noticed the cat scales? Like literally every 3 months they go up 50 cents. They used to only go up like 50 cents a year, maybe a year and a half, 18 months. Now it's like 50 cents every 3 months. Every time I go get it, because I only get like 2 scales a month, maybe 1 or 2. Every time I go, I swear, every like 5th time I go, it goes up 50 cents. It's insane, you know? And it's not about the 50 cents. It's just, it's climbing so quick. It's like everybody's just nickel and diming you to death, where your exchange of energy is basically for free or just the cost of living. And I don't go to work and hurt myself to just break even, right? I'm running a business, not a charity, right? It's not my fault.
We're all here to make money.
Yes, exactly.
Vince,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, knowing your cost, knowing all your expenses, your overhead, and every little detail that you can possibly think of,
Yeah.
it gives you zero leverage when it comes to dealing with these brokers.
Not in my world, it hasn't.
Not
Like,
anymore.
yeah, not anymore, man.
Not anymore.
What do you mean? I mean, if I know my bottle, my cost per mile, then I call these brokers and I tell them, hey, I need to get paid. They don't care. They just want to get the cheapest carriage.
Well, that's the brokers you're talking to. The spot market, most brokers, not all, yeah, 30% of the stuff out there is great. 30% of the brokers out there are amazing people. They get it. And the shippers too. There's great shippers out there that they know all these things. Trust me, they know our CPM way before we do. CPM is not, it's kindergarten work, guys. Fuel, insurance, wear and tear, the driver, and insurance, taxes. Is this hard? This is all addition. It's not even algebra. It's just addition and subtraction and a little bit of multiplication. It's like 2nd grade work, not insulting anybody. I'm just saying that you better know your CPM and that's why you're not making any money is a way to exploit you, to lie to you, to gaslight you, and steal your energy, which is your money. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. That's how I see it. I might be wrong. I don't know.
I agree with you. But
Yeah.
Totally right.
at the end of the day, when you go to the spot market and you try to talk to these brokers any sense, they just don't care.
That's what I'm saying. The spot market is not a fair market rate. The spot market is bullshit, bro. The spot market does not match inflation. The spot market does not pay enough for anybody. Maybe a bachelor could survive trucking.
Okay, the spot market is nothing but exploitation.
Or a foreigner, a legal foreigner can afford the spot market, to live on the spot market, living out of a truck. Sure. I don't know.
Spot market is exploitation.
Good, man. How you doing, El? How you doing, bro? Long time no see.
Everything's good here, brother.
Nice.
Time no see. God bless each and every one of you. I had a comment, brother, that a suggestion or a comment. I'm not sure how I want to look at it, but it's something that I definitely feel is hurting a lot of us truckers on this side of the industry. Is the fact that we do not share our cents per mile. We're not sharing. We're keeping it hidden. We're not talking with one another on what we're paying, what we're getting paid. And if we keep that hidden, we'll never be able to educate the guys that are being underpaid,
right,
because they don't know any better. If we don't share with them what a good salary or what a good cents per mile is supposed to look like, they'll never know. And if y'all have noticed, like myself, who's worked in the union in the past, the union, outside the union hall, they always place what the percentage of a journeyman wages, what the apprentice makes first year, second year, and they're very, very open about letting people know what you're going to be making. And if somehow, Vince, in the future or in the near future, with all your members like myself, that Matthew are willing to chip in $2 a month to some kind of a app that you may open, or some kind of an association that you may open. I mean, just think of the amount of followers that you have now at $2. That would be enough to get signs, billboards, at least on I-40 in the middle of the country.
Bro, I like your thinking. Real quick, L, let me just pause you. Let me just pause you for 1 second. I just want to bring something up to the chat. I don't know who this Mr. Trucking CEO is, but he keeps spamming saying like you can make a KILL whatever on the spot market, blah blah blah. He's spamming us. You guys, you can't say the K word on TikTok or this. You got to say pew pew. You can't say the C word from 2019. You got to say flu. And that's why he said the K word. He's trying to get me blocked. I don't know who he is. I thought he was cool. I asked him to come up and talk, but he won't. So the trucking CEO, if I'm wrong, I had to mute you because you said the K word. And I think you already know that, but I don't want to assume. So I'll bring you back in like 10 minutes, okay? But you can't be saying stuff like that on these lives or you'll get us kicked off. A lot of us here, we are very passionate about this. This is our families to us. This isn't like a game. This isn't a joke to us, all right? But respectfully, I'll bring you back in 10 minutes. Don't say that stuff anymore. I'm gonna have to block you altogether. Go ahead, El. I'm sorry, man, to interrupt you.
Hey, Vince, did I make a pew pew?
No, you didn't. You didn't. It was this guy, the trucking CEO, I think is his name. I don't even see him now in the chat. In the chat, he kept saying like, you can make a ton of money off the spot market, and you guys don't know what you're doing. Trucking is great. And he was saying all this weird stuff. And I was like, bro, come up and talk to me about it. Like, and then he was saying, oh, this guy's ignoring me, talking about me, the host. He goes, he's ignoring me. He just wants follows and he wants views. And I kept responding saying, dude, I'm not ignoring you. I'm trying to go through. It's hard to sit here and talk and go through chats and like entertain everybody and block people. And like, it's not easy. And so I think he's just trying to like, thanks, man. Go ahead.
Like a sabotage. He was trying to sabotage.
He was. I think so. See, I don't want to assume either, bro. Like I'm a decent person. I don't want to assume because he might just be on it. Yeah. I don't like to block people, dude. I like debate. I like the hard questions. That's what makes me a better man. That's what makes me smarter. When people put me in check, I don't like it, but I like it because I want to become stronger with every life. I want to know my stuff. You know what I mean? I'm trying.
Yeah, so Vince, whenever you finally decide to get some type of association, we're going to start off small bit at $2 or whatever you think the good rate would be to be able to get at least one billboard facing east and one facing west. Man, that would be a great start for us,
didn't you say that last time you were here? I think you said something to that. No? Okay.
Sir.
Um,
It's time to start and support that.
I'm trying. Guess what, guys? I got a big surprise coming up for everybody in December. I can't say what it is for safety reasons, but I have a really, really big surprise for everybody. A new idea. I thought of it last night when I was in the shower. And I do a lot of my thinking in the shower. I love hot water. I'll sit in there for an hour and just think, you know. And long story short, I thought of something to how to unite us and how to give credit to everybody selflessly and really show people how to be genuine, show people how to unite, and show truck drivers how to not have pride and ego. And I think it's gonna work. I'm like pretty sure it's gonna work. And I'm gonna disclose that in December on a live.
I'm so ready to
It's gonna be cool, bro. I think it's gonna work.
Vince, you coming out in a Santa Claus suit would not be a safety violation to any of us.
With the safety vest on, that's a good idea. That's not a bad idea. It's funny.
Hey, next time you gotta do live on the safety vest, because there's this guy that came in asking you about your suit and tie, about your tie and stuff. So next live you better.
That's okay. Hold on. I'll show you all something right now. Hang on. I just gotta cover it somehow. Here you go. Hold on. Here we go. Hang on. I'm gonna show you guys something right now. Get ready for it. Here it comes. All right.
We don't need your AI.
All right. Who's that guy right there?
Oh my God, this is like 20-year-old.
What's that say? What's that say? All right. So just stop. Hey.
This is they got canceled because California got canceled and none of us all years.
That's right. Oh wait.
Hey, Vince, you look like an ex-con on that picture, man.
Maybe I was. No.
I see you in the truck stop like that, walking towards me. I pull up my wallet and I give it to you. Hey, please don't let me take my wallet.
Oh, man, you guys are bad. Yep. It's the glasses, man. Here. There you go. Much better.
Now you really look like a Fed.
That's what a lot of people say, bro. I don't care. Whatever.
The vet bro was saying that to you earlier today.
Yeah.
Funny.
Let me see. Oh, I don't have my shirt on. Yeah, I usually do have a. If you look at, you know what? Look at my video from like 2 days ago. I was in a cat sweatshirt in my truck. And you know what though? I will. Maybe tomorrow I'll do my live in my truck and I'll do, what do you call it? I'll do it in a safety vest. Why not? I don't mind. I don't mind, but I'm not really here to prove anything to anybody either. You know, the ones that are legitimate, you can tell just by the way I talk, you know? So anybody can try to pretend to be something they're not, but based off how they talk and how they act, you just got to talk to somebody for 5 minutes and you'll know if they're the real deal or not. You know what I mean? So anyway, old school, I'm sorry. I kind of interrupted you there, man.
Oh, that's okay. I have a comment response to somebody talking about rate, wanting to know. I'm not going to share my rate
Yeah.
with anyone. And I do that for more reasons than not, because I don't want somebody else thinking they can come in and do the job, and maybe they can cut my rate.
That's a good
My
point.
customers are happy with me. You know, I'm contracted to a carrier. And it's been 24 years.
Right.
I load for the same customer most of the time.
That's your baby. You got to protect it.
There's a lot of days. There's a lot of days I know about freight coming out before my dispatchers do. Because they call me.
Wow.
Hey, we're gonna have this, and we want you to do it. Are you gonna be around? Well, I can't be there on Monday, but I can be there Tuesday. Okay, well, we'll switch it around. We'll make it work on Tuesday.
Right.
But I've been hauling for some of these guys for 20 years. They know what to expect.
Yep.
Today,
What's up, Goodman?
flip flops, the open-toed shoes, the going into a carrier in short pants,
With stains on their clothes. Yeah, I see it.
clothes.
I see it.
They
It's
don't
disgusting.
keep their hair. You know, okay, local trailer.
They-
I get dirty doing my job. I get filthy.
Yeah.
I
You know-
show up for my when I show up to go in the customer store, whether I unloaded a half a mile down the street or 3 hours down the road,
Right.
when I go in that door, whether I got to shower or not, get cleaned up, I got a clean shirt on, my hair combed, my beard combed, I got clean jeans on, and when I get ready to load, I may go out and put on the dirty jeans I had on that morning,
Right.
you
Right.
know. But when I walk in the door, I'm going to be neat in my appearance. When I
You-
walk across the parking lot at the truck stop, I'm going to be neat in my appearance unless I'm just got done unloading some greasy old machine and I got to get a shower.
Yeah.
Communication is a key factor. Attitude is a key factor. 30 years ago, we never thought anything about if we got to a shipper or a receiver and they said, we need you to count, or we need you to help break down one level of boxes. We just went in and did it. It was part of the job. Part of what we did.
Yes.
And today, it's everybody wants to drop a hook. That's not part of the job. Part of the job is making sure it gets there, gets unloaded, gets reloaded. If you can't inspect how they load your trailer, you're taking it off my trailer.
Yep.
I'm not going anywhere.
Yep. I'm responsible for that load once it's on the trailer. And I'll tell you how it's going to be loaded. Yeah.
It's mine. It's my responsibility. Same way with the rate. If I'm somewhere and I can't get what I want, I'll drive my truck 500 miles to get where I got to go. I'm not putting on $1.60 or 70 cents a mile freight just to pay for fuel. Ain't doing it.
Yes, sir.
Nobody's gonna make money off of me unless I make it.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing I want to touch on real quick. Thank you, Trucking. One thing I want to touch on is the shower thing, bro. You know, every day we stand in lines at the shipper or the receiver, and some of you drivers, man, sometimes drivers, I think, you know, I know how it happens, right? You drive day after day after day. You're on a tight schedule. You know, you need to make an appointment. You got to drive 700-800 miles a day. You know what? Every other day, take a shower, because the thing is, I think most of us, we don't realize when we're getting body odor. Like, I don't think most of us realize our own body odor, but other people will smell it. So if you just take a shower every other day, it's really easy. You get a free shower every other day, right? That'll eliminate that. So you're not wrong though, dude. That's what's given us a bad name of not being professionals when we're showing up in flip-flops or stains on our shorts or our pants, or your hair's messed up, you didn't brush your teeth, you didn't shave, or at least clean up your beard. You know, like, I don't get it, man. It's not that hard. It takes 15 minutes a day for hygiene, you know, and it makes you feel better, man. It gives you a different persona to be clean and smell good and take care of yourself, you know. I mean, sometimes at night, like I'm so exhausted. Like once a week, I'll question like, oh man, I'm so tired. Do I really even need to brush my teeth? I haven't eaten any sugar in the last 10 hours. I'll just swish with water and spit it out in the grass. And I'm like, no, I better brush my teeth, man. I don't want to have to see the dentist in 3 years for a major thing, you know? So
They make mouthwash. They make mints. They do tremendous things. I'm a smoker, so I'm forever using mouthwash before I go in to see my customer.
there you go.
As far as
Yeah.
if I haven't had time to take a shower today and I've been sweating for whatever reason, do you know that a 99-cent thing of baby powder and put a little on the inside of your shirt, put a little bit in your jeans, it'll absorb,
Huh.
take away a lot of odor.
I didn't know that.
And you feel, I would imagine, I don't know about a woman, but I know that I have a tendency to get a little sweaty in my jeans, and putting a little powder down there, I'm sure there's an odor that I don't smell because it's me.
That's what I'm
Never
saying.
smell or smell.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I feel better. I'm dry. I don't have that.
Exactly. Well, hey, old school. Let's give Scott a chance to talk here. Scott's been real patient. Let's see what Scott has to say. What's going on, Scott? How are you, buddy?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. What's on your mind?
Just dropping back in. I know you're an owner-operator. I thought of a few other things the other night after we got done talking. Might be a good tip for you.
Okay.
One of them would be a fuel additive. And I know most people only think of adding a fuel additive to their truck in the winter, like an anti-gel. But there's actually an oil company, oldest oil company in the United States, actually, probably one of the oldest in the world. They started out making grease for the steamboats back in the old days, the old paddle boats that run up and down the river before there ever was a diesel engine or anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been around a long time.
Lucas?
It's called Schaefer.
Oh.
And Schaefer's is actually based in St. Louis. And I never knew anything about them, and I hauled some freight for them one time. And I got to talking to the guys on the dock and cutting up with them. And they started telling me about this fuel additive that they have. And they gave me a bottle of it to try. And I was amazed by it.
Huh.
You can run it some. They got a summer one you can run in the summer, and then they got one you can run in the winter that also acts as an anti-gel agent. But it changes the molecular structure of the hydrocarbon chains of the diesel itself. It causes it to atomize a little better. It causes it to burn more complete. And it doesn't produce all the soot that just burning diesel by itself produces. So it does several things.
Do they have it at every truck stop, like the Lucas? Because I'll get the Lucas. I like to get the Lucas.
You know, that's the funny thing about it. They've been in business forever, but that stuff is really hard to find at a truck stop. I've only ever found one, and it was over in southeast Missouri Blue Hill on I-55. There was a truck stop that carried it, and I used to always stock up on it there. But you can order it online. I think there's an
I'll get off in
Amazon
about
store
15, 20
that
minutes.
carries it. I think it's their actual online store.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great stuff. I started using it. And because, see, nowadays we have the ultra low sulfur diesel. And what nobody understands about that, when they took the sulfur out, what the sulfur actually did was acted as a lubricant for your high pressure fuel pump and your injectors. It would actually coat that metal and get bonded to the metal with parts that rubbed each other, and it reduced the friction. And without that sulfur in your fuel, you don't really have much there to lubricate anymore. It's not enough lubrication. And this has some chemicals in it, high-tech crap.
Yeah.
It increases that lubrication for all those parts that are so crucial.
and then it's got cleaning agents in it that clean and keep all your fuel system clean, helps remove deposits from your injectors, your cylinders, everything. And then, like I say, it's also got some of it, depending on which one you get, it's got a little bit of a seating booster in it, and that's better for winter, really, because start getting into seating numbers and stuff. You got to be very careful because these new engines nowadays. What do you have? A Detroit?
DD15, yeah.
Right. They're so finicky about the seating numbers and additives. You got to be really careful when you start playing with those numbers.
Right.
And I've seen a lot of guys say that, oh, we'll boost the seating up, we'll get more horsepower, we'll get better fuel mileage. Not a lot. You might just a little bit, but once you get past a very little bit of lenient threshold there, and once you get past that, it actually works against you.
Yeah, I don't need horsepower.
It doesn't sound like it would, but it does.
I've accepted being a turtle.
This fuel, it does all that stuff.
Oh, wow.
It's called Schaefer's 137. And it's not cheap, but a gallon of it will treat about 2,000 gallons of fuel, so you got to keep that in mind.
Okay, let me think here. 100, 200. I use a quarter every 100 gallons. So I use a gallon about every 400 gallons. Yeah, because I pour
a gallon for 400 gallons. How much are you paying a gallon for your additive?
45 bucks.
45.
So every other day is 45. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this here, the last I bought was about 2 years ago, but it was about 45. I think between $40 and $45 for a gallon.
Okay.
And like I say, it treats 2,000 gallons.
Wow, that's not bad. That's not bad. Do you put that stuff in before you fuel or after? After, right?
Always. Well, it depends. So many ounces per so many gallons of fuel. Me, I already knew my truck, and I knew, within 10 gallons or so about how much I was going to be putting on.
Yeah, but do you do it before you fuel or after you fuel? Do you add it?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'd know about how much I was going to put on.
Oh,
I'd calculate
okay.
how many ounces of the additive I needed. And then I had a little glass measuring cup. I'd measure it, dump it in my tanks, half of whatever I needed in one tank, half the other, and then top off, fill up.
Gotcha.
But yeah, very, very good stuff.
Right.
I ran it for probably about that first gallon. After I ran that first gallon through it, I could tell how much smoother the truck idled, smoother acceleration, better fuel mileage. And then, like I say, it's also cutting down that soot. And that extends your service stuff that you have to do on the after treatment system. Because you got all that soot building up in your EGR system. You got it building up on your differential pressure sensors.
Yep.
You got it building up on your map sensor. You got it building up everywhere.
Yep.
And if you can cut that down where it's not much soot, you can double or triple between having to have a DPF clean.
That's right.
Really good stuff. So.
Okay, well, thanks for that, man.
That's definitely worth the money.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that, man. Appreciate it. I'll check some of it out. I'll go check it out after the live.
Yep, they've got some videos on YouTube where they showed, they make all types of engine oil too. And they got one, a full synthetic that they ran in a cat. And the cat had just over 1 million miles on it. The engine had never been into. They tore that engine apart after running that fuel treatment stuff in it and the engine oil made by Schaefer. And they mic'd all the bearings, all the journals, everything. And they said it was still well within factory spec. And really all they had to do was a gasket kit and they could put it back together like it was and run it another 1 million miles.
Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. You know what's wild to me, Scott, is like you get into this industry and there's really nothing to help you with any of these shortcuts or any of these tips. You either figure them out the hard way or you talk to people and people will give you their wisdom if you're willing to talk to people. But if you just want to keep your head down and you know everything, you're going to go through a lot of pain. Am I right? You're going to go through a lot of struggles in this industry. And if they don't put you out of business, I've almost gone out of business 2-3 times before I really got it in my head. This isn't a game. You got to know what you're doing. You got to pay attention.
It's extremely competitive. It is an extremely expensive game to play, and if you don't know how to play, you will lose.
Yep. And who's going to help you, right? Who's going to pick you up? Yep.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thanks for that, Scott. I'm going to close up the live, everybody. They're getting ready to close down the restaurant here. So,
Just want to say true to that.
yeah, go ahead. Is it George or Jorge?
George. That
George.
was me.
Okay.
So true. Whatever he said, it's really competitive, and everybody's trying to make it.
You know what I'd like to do, George? I'm thinking in the future, like if I do get bigger, I'm thinking maybe we could figure out how to do some kind of like some kind of charity where we can constantly every week we can give away free drive tires, we can give away a free tank of gas, diesel. We can help somebody out with their radiator that broke down, or we can give somebody a free tow, or just, the owner operators that are really struggling though. You know what I mean? Like somehow help. There's nobody out there doing it.
That's the one side, but the other side, you gotta tell the brokers and shippers.
Oh, of course. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of guys out there that are doing stuff like they'll say, "Oh, buy my raffle for $5 and you could win a pair of steer tires." Well, we all know steer tires are about $1,500.
But trust me, I've been around those people. I've been around this, all this environment, and I think you are at the point that you have a leverage to bring them on. To be honest with you, I think at the point that you have a leverage to bring them on, they're gonna listen to you. They're gonna watch you. They're gonna watch you. Whatever you say, they're gonna watch you. And being in Orlando talking to some big brokers, I'm just saying it's gonna change. And if you're gonna lead the change, just lead the change.
Yep.
You ready to lead the change?
I'm ready. I've been ready. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Just get into your hands, and it's gonna be different. For the next 2 years, it's gonna be different. Just because it's gonna be solo for 8 years. 8 years is gonna be down and down and down and down. And now, I'm thinking it's down 2 years. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready, George. I didn't pick this. It picked me.
That's good to
I
hear.
don't know why. Trust me, I talk to a lot of people on the live and YouTube, and Bobby's my friend. Fucking love Bobby. Shit, he's a fucking something else. I fucking love Bobby. He's oh my god, he's a guy. I love you as much as I love him. To be honest with you, oh my god, I love you guys. To be honest with you.
Thanks, man. We love you too, man. And yeah, we're all the change, man. As long as we all keep doing this and interacting and doing this together, we'll get it done. We're gonna get trucking back. I'm confident, and I'm confident I'm gonna be able to talk to Mr. Trump himself and tell him, like, dude, we need to apply pressure, big pressure to Congress and Senate. We need to get the ATA out of there. They need to be gone across the street. They don't represent truck drivers. They represent money. Okay.
Hey, Vince, I just kind of happen to know my representative, Max Miller.
What state are you?
Ohio.
Illinois?
Ohio.
Ohio. Okay.
Max Miller.
Okay.
Really cool guy. He's an awesome guy. I've been here with him and we do this all.
Nice.
I don't know what else can I do, but he's on our side. Trust me, he's on our side.
Good.
Good. He's a straight guy on our side. He's Max Miller. He's on our side.
You know what else we do? Everybody figure out who your trucking association is in your state, and let me know if the head of that trucking association is a driver or an ex-driver. I bet you they're not. That's what I'm noticing in all these organizations. None of them have even been a driver. I'm okay with guys that have been drivers for 10, 20, 30 years and now they're just working for drivers. That I'm okay with because they know it. Like the FMCSA. Dan Barnes, he was a DOT cop for 30 years. He should go do safety or DOT cop somewhere else. But head of FMCSA, just my humble opinion is we need a truck driver with 2 or 3 million miles under their belt to be at the tip of the spear of FMCSA working underneath Sean Duffy. Not a cop. I'm sorry, cops should go do cop things. Law enforcement, enforcing the law or criminals or safety or things of that nature, but not driving a truck. Dan Barnes has never driven a truck. He's never lived in a truck. He's never left his family for a week at a time. You know how many times I've been called selfish by people? I've been called selfish so many times. People have no idea how hard it is to leave your wife and children. People have no idea when your wife and kids are at the lake enjoying themselves with your other friends from church and you're in a truck, they're in, California enjoying themselves and you're not there. You're in a truck burning up in Laredo, Texas because you have to support them and that comes first as your job as head of household. They have no idea and you have to keep a smile on your face, right? And then you hang up the phone and you cry or you're just depressed the rest of the day. But boy, you keep on that smile, don't you, for your wife and kids because you don't want them to have a bad time. And you paid for it all. The trip that they're having, you paid for that. People don't get it. They want to call truck drivers selfish. Truck drivers are the opposite of selfish. Just like soldiers. Soldiers are not selfish when they're serving their country and they're going on a deployment. You go on a deployment for a year and then you have the right to say that. But until you've gone in a truck and supported the American economy, don't call a truck driver selfish, okay? Because you go to the store and you buy that toilet paper and that shampoo and you go fill up your tank from a truck driver that slept in a truck for 4 days to get it to you, that left their family to get that shit to you. So don't say that if you don't know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. Thanks, brother. All right, I'm gonna close.
You said giving back to truckers was part of what you're doing, because that's exactly what we have in mind for our app that we're building.
Oh.
Once we get that built out and done, we're talking about giving back in a big way.
We should work together then. Maybe you could just do that part of it and I could help you launch it. That's what that's why I want to unite 2 million drivers in one area. That's what I'm trying to do, Scott. Imagine what we can do with that. Like, let's say I can have everybody right here and you're like, hey, Vince, I need you, bro. Hey, talk about this. If you've noticed, I talk about everybody's ideas, whether I agree with them or not, because I believe in sharing the platform. This is not my platform. I don't look at these 20,000 followers like they're my followers. I look at them like they're fellow truck drivers that are hanging out with me and I share information, whether I believe in it or not. Because not everything right is my ideas. You know what I mean? It's a collaboration of all, just like America, we the people. That's why we have checks and balances, right? We don't agree on everything, but it's important that we balance out like that,
Yeah, exactly.
So we should work on that together, bro. Because listen, real quick, Scott, a lot of these organizations, I'll give you an example. They'll say, hey, Scott, buy my raffle ticket. I'm giving away 2 free steer tires. It's only $5 for a raffle ticket. You and I both know steer tires are about $1,500 for some good 16-ply Michelins or Goodyears. It's about $1,500, balanced, rotated, all that, put on your truck. $1,500. Okay, cool. Well, the person selling the raffle tickets is actually making $10,000, but they're like, I'm a good person. I'm giving you a pair of steer tires. No, you're not, dude. You're making you're making $8,500 off truck drivers buying a $5 raffle ticket. You're taking $8,500 and you're giving someone $1,500 worth of tires, making yourself look like a good person, but you're not. You're actually just a businessman with a smart little scheme. I want to give the entire $10,000 away. If we make $10,000 on raffle tickets, let's give away 5 steer tires. Does that make sense? And a free tank of diesel to someone. Like, let's really help owner operators. You know what I mean? Like, truly help them, not just make a ton of money. Because life isn't about money. Money's important, but it's not everything. You know what I mean?
Nope, it's not.
Yeah.
And I've always done really well in the industry over the past 30 years.
Nice.
And of course, we're going to have to charge for it because we've got so much time, energy, effort, and money invested in developing this app. And then there's so much ongoing maintenance with it in the back end. I mean, you wouldn't believe what's involved.
Oh, man.
So, I mean, we're going to have to charge something for it.
Well, yeah,
I'm
but...
not looking at trying to get out there and buy a new Corvette.
That's what I'm saying.
We don't give a shit.
Of course, there's business expenses.
We're just wanting
Right.
to help people and get this out there.
That's perfect, man. I'll help endorse that. No problem.
I appreciate it. You know, it's sad that there's some big creators on this app in trucking that have hundreds, if not millions, of followers. And I've reached out to several of them about helping get word out about this to help our industry. And you know what I got met with?
What?
Oh, I'll get you an email over, or whoever I actually responded. Then I get an email, and they're wanting all this information. And what it boils down to is they're either wanting a big cut of the profit or they're wanting a big fee up front to promote it for you. They're wanting to make money off of it.
Everything's money. Well, I'll tell you
They
this.
get on this damn app every day, and they act like they're all for the trucker. Oh, you guys, I'm trying to help you. The fuck you are. You're trying to fatten your own pocket.
That's right. Well, guess what? Heaven was not built with $100 bills, so good luck with that. I want to store treasures in heaven by doing what God intends us to do. That's love one another, take care of one another. God wants us to invest in each other, not invest in things. Now, I'm not saying things aren't cool and important. Things are cool. You and I can go, for example, let's say we buy a new Pew Pew, okay? And we go out and we have fun with it for 2 or 3 hours. The point of the Pew Pew is to spend that time together, laughing, joking, BSing, having fun with that tool and that sport, not the actual thing. Does that make sense? And that's where people have lost their way. They love the thing. They don't love spending time with each other. I would truly rather just sit down and have a cup of coffee with you than have the cup of coffee to own forever. Because I can't laugh with a cup of coffee. I can't hang out with the actual cup. But with you, I can have a good time. I can socialize and feel good and talk and laugh. You know, so maybe we could bring that back.
We're based in western Kentucky, in Paducah, Kentucky.
Okay.
24 runs through the western tip of Kentucky. And there's actually an old truck stop that's still in business, but there's a restaurant right next to the old truck stop that's been shut down. And we've even talked about possibly trying to open that restaurant and get a deal, if not buy the truck stop too, at least get a deal with the truck stop to where anybody buying fuel, I don't care if you only buy 20 gallons. Come over, you're going to get a free lunch, free dinner, whatever time of day it is. I don't care.
That'd be cool.
And then come the holidays, it'll be a big free, all-you-can-eat Thanksgiving dinner, turkey dinner, Christmas, same thing. Something where you can actually have everybody come in, get out of the truck, sit down, talk.
Yeah.
Have a little bit of camaraderie, you know?
That'd be awesome, man. That'd be awesome. All right, I'm going to get out of here, Scott. It was great talking to you, man, and you have a great night. All right?
Yes, sir. You too.
All right. Take care.
That was a good speech. The guy just, brought
I'm leaving, yeah. Is that my ticket? No. Yeah, could you bring it? I'm sorry, George. Go ahead. I'm closing out my ticket.
I said
Go ahead.
the guy just brought some American values, and for me, again, being an immigrant, I respect that. This is what I've been here since I was 18 years old, and I just respect it. Amen to that.
It's awesome, man.
Nothing else to tell, nothing else to say. Great life. A lot of good emotions, but that was a great life. And I have to put my daughter to bed. She's sleeping actually, but I have to cut on her too.
Look, bro, you got 211 coins, man. People like you, bro. So
I
get,
don't know what does that mean. What is the coin?
it's actual money. It's like a buck. I mean, it's not a lot of money, but it just when people like you or they like what you're saying, that's their way of showing like that they like you or they're your friend. They give you coins, and it's you can take those.
Am I like 50 coins less than Andrew? Oh my God, she's an expert.
She's more popular than us.
That was crazy.
Yeah, I take my coins and I give them back when I'm in other lives. I give them back to people. So, like when I see Audrey other places, I'll give her some, or you, if I see you somewhere else, I'll give you some. Kind of like my way of saying hello and just whatever. I don't care about the money. I care about the talking to people.
I appreciate you guys. Everything you do for immigrants.
Yep.
And immigrants and everything that I have known. I have no regret, and if I have to, I'll meet you at the White House.
Right on, brother. All right, we'll talk about it soon. Have a great night, okay?
Good night.
All right, you too, man. Bye-bye. Audrey, last but not least.
I've burnt up like 3 notebooks tonight. I just want to share that with you. Like, have all these notes, and I got all these things I want to look up, and like everybody brought up some really great stuff.
Awesome.
We had some great chats. So I got work to do. Like, I have lots of work to do, which is great. But
Awesome.
no, I mean, again, thank you for having me on the live as always. I learn more from you guys than I ever put into these, so it's great. But I did know about the Schaefer's thing, so that made me feel good. I'm like, yay, I knew something.
That's cool. No, and we appreciate you. You're like, I don't know how other people feel. I know I've talked to Dave. He feels the same way. You are bringing like a lot of confidence to us. Seriously. By you like going in here and like talking to people and how you talk. Like, I know I wish I could speak the same way as you, but I also know everybody has their own light that they bring to the world, right? And yours is definitely education and how you speak. But that, I don't know, for me, you like give me confidence when you're up here. So thank you for that.
That's kind of like, I always tell people, I said, that's my calling, is I want to empower other people. I like to be like the person who lurks in the back, and I'm like, I like to push people forward. So here's your last factoid trivia for the day. I think I shared this on a different live. When women were getting the right to vote and suffrage, there was a woman by the name of Elizabeth Cady Stanton, and she was kind of the founder of women's suffrage, but she realized very quickly that she was this very large woman, and she wasn't exactly pretty, and she wasn't all that. And so she went out and she recruited a woman by the name of Susan B. Anthony to kind of be the face of the movement, right? And so I always kind of like, if I could be like Stanton, that would be amazing. Like, I just want to get people out there and empower them to do the right thing, and I'll just sit back and I'll do it, So that's how I look at it. Well, every single buddy on here tonight, I hope you stay safe and have a great evening.
Yeah, thank you, Audrey. Have a great night. And on that note, actually, Audrey, have you ever watched the show Vikings, the small series Vikings, or no?
I have.
Okay,
that show.
You know the guy, what's his name? He's handsome, right? I forget his name.
Yeah, I know who you're.
Okay.
I know who you're talking about.
All right, I watched an interview on him, and you know what he said? He goes, every movie I do, he goes, I was born this way. Like, to me, he goes, I look in the mirror and I just see me. But everybody says I'm really, really handsome. And that's what actors do. Like, to be an actor, pretty much 99% of them have to be, that's why I got braces for all my kids. Because, just so they, better job opportunities. It's not fair, but it's true. Anyways, he made a very important quote that I really liked about him in an interview. He said, I use my looks as getting a message out. He goes, I only take acting roles that I really believe in with history or movies. He goes, it's not about money for me. Like, obviously, I'm sure he enjoys the money. But more importantly, he goes, I use my looks to get the roles that I truly believe in. And I use it because I want to show people a story. I want to tell people a story. I believe in that. And I was like, that's really cool. Like, he's using his gift in life to empower people and to tell a story that he believes in. So I don't know. I thought that was really cool,
No, I think we're all called to, I mean, whether you believe in God or Christ or Creator or whatever your belief system is, we're all called to provide or share our gift. And so it's knowing what your gift is and sharing it with the world.
That's
Let
right.
your light shine.
That's right. That's right. All right, Audrey, thanks for coming in. I'm going to close it down. You have a great night, okay? All right. Let's see. All right, everybody. Thank you. 17 of you still in here. Thank you so much on X. Thank you for joining on YouTube. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate everybody being here on TikTok. Thank you for all those likes. I see you guys. I really appreciate the shares. I really appreciate the comments. I appreciate the likes. Just so everybody knows, that really, really helps content creators get out there into the world and share their message, right? Most people, it's selfish. For me, it's not selfish. For me, I'm trying to get our people, our clan in one area. That's it. After that, I don't care about any number past that. I really don't. So when you comment and you share and you like and you do all the things on the side and on all the other social media platforms, Truckers Unite Now, we're everywhere. We're here on TikTok. We are on X. We are on YouTube. We're on Facebook and we're on Instagram. And it is not easy. I'm doing all this for free, okay? Because I want to get a hold of all 2 million American truck drivers and or their families, right? So anyways, what I'm trying to say is when you do that, if you want to help me or you want to help this cause, do that. Share, comment, like, spend the time to do that if you believe in this organization, okay? If you believe in trucking and you love trucking, yeah, get involved. If it's not with me, get involved somewhere. If you see my face or a DM come up asking for money, please don't send money. I don't want your money. I work for a living. I make a decent amount of money. I make enough to support my family, and that's all I care about. Like money-wise, is supporting my family. So don't send money, okay? If anybody asks you for money, it is a scam. I will never ask you for money is what I'm trying to say, all right? Let's see, what else? Yeah, join somewhere, get involved. We're trying every day. We're educating ourselves. We are molding ourselves into a better person. At the truck stops, go talk to each other, please. Like a lot of truck drivers are depressed right now. They're not making any money. They're away from their home. Like if you see a truck driver with their face down or looking at the phone, go up and talk to them. You might not know that like might be a lot of truck drivers are unaliving themselves right now. They're losing everything that they have worked for 20, 30 years. Seriously, ATU, the guy from ATU just was telling us that the other day that truck drivers are losing their lives over this kind of stuff. So you never know. You might actually be the one that makes the difference in talking to some woman or some man that has their head down. Like just go up, hey, how you doing, man? Where are you going? Like just get in a conversation with them. Even if you're shy or whatever, you might be saving their life. You never know. Also, please tell everybody truck drivers are uniting 1 mile at a time, 1 day at a time, 1 driver at a time. We are uniting slowly. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all the support. I know that with a follow, a share, all this, I know that I could lose it overnight. So I appreciate it. I appreciate your support. And I love you guys. You guys are all family here. You know that. You'll always be respected here. I do my best so people don't get interrupted and so that your message gets across. Share this with other truck drivers, please, or people that care about the trucking industry. Please share it with them, okay? Your congressmen and your senators, the FMCSA, let's flood their emails. Let's call, let's flood all that and let's let them know, like, we need change now. We have to tell our representatives what to do, or the brokers and everybody else is gonna do, or crooked brokers. I gotta stop saying just brokers because there's a lot of great brokers out there. So I don't wanna just blast brokers because, I don't know, I think like 70% of them are actually really good people. All right, shippers too. We just got a few bad apples in the industry. Well, maybe quite a few. And there's bad drivers out there too. Anyways, I love you guys. 1 Corinthians chapter 16, verses 13 through 14 says this: be on your guard, stand still in the faith, be courageous, be strong, do everything in love. A truck driver is supposed to be trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. And on my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to obey the truck law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. So with that, keep the shiny side up, dirty side down. McCone, we're going to start reading that every single live, bro. I love that, dude. Thank you for sending that to me. Sorry it took so long to get in my thick skull. All right, I'm Italian, man. What do you want? Anyways, I love you guys. Take care, trucker family. Thank you again, Audrey, for being here, man. We really love you. You're in our family, too. I think you already know that. And everybody have a great night. All right, I'm out. Peace. Have a good night. All right, how do I turn this thing off? X. Later. Thank you for joining. If you join. I don't even think there's anybody here, but that's okay. I'm talking to myself. I love trucking. Peace out. and YouTube. I don't think anybody came in here either, but that's okay. We're going to grow eventually. Later. Love you guys.